Alright, that'll work.
Once you have the counting,
يمكن احسن اذا بتعمل
Alright, so how everybody doing? Feeling good and amazing. We've been working with a lot of energy today. I got the testimonies of people who's already having a pranic day, food free. And it's a whole different experience on how y'all saying you're not feeling hungry, you're feeling the energy flow. And that's what it's all about. Energy. How to grasp it, how to notice it. Now, these meditations we went through today are awesome. And meditation is the foundation of living on prana. Meditation is medication. Let me repeat that. Meditation is medication. When a person really understands and learns how to meditate, you should not be sick. I gotta straight say that. And if you are have a sickness or energy blockage, meditation has the power to remove it when you really understand it and what it's used for. It's working with energy. It's a tool to work with. When you look at certain things like yoga, yoga means to what? Union with. Then you got a word that we use for religion. It comes from the word regulare, which also means union with. Union with what? That should be the end goal of these things. It's the union with the unified consciousness that connects everything. The more a person is connected with the unified consciousness, they become a self-sustaining being. Now, we all say that we're part of nature. Become one with nature. We say this. However, what does that mean? Just because you can stand next to a tree? It is saying you're so much part of nature, you're self-sustaining just like nature. Nature works in a whole. It does not work as an individual. That's why when you come into the Breatharian knowledge, usually a student think that they have free will. That's a big one. But the more you start coming into the study, you're going to find out that everything is predetermined. Everything is under predetermined law. You don't care what the organism is thinking. That's an illusion to think you're making a choice outside of nature. Even your life is going in a function. Why do some things go for you and some things don't? Why some prayers get answered?
In order to translate you to people who don't understand English at that complexity level, we need you to do some, we just talked that if you can do after a few sentences a stop, so we can give some of the arguments you said to the people who don't.
Oh, absolutely. My fault on that.
No, they're getting the English. They all know English, but
Right.
sometimes it's a bit
Some words,
sophisticated,
yes.
so we
Some
need to
words.
add quickly to enhance or to emphasize
Yes,
a few
exactly.
things.
All right.
Not complete translation, just to.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
All right. So nature works as a whole. That's what it does. It don't work as an individual. But the human being comes along and says, I'm going to work as an individual. I can make choices outside of nature. And that's where the problem is at. The Breatharian path is just a knowledge or an education to get you back into the wholeness of nature. Your body already tells the truth. It's already hooked up with nature. How do we know this? Every time the sun comes out, it automatically takes a hormone in your pineal gland called serotonin. It secretes it in your blood. When the moon comes out, it's the same hormone, but it secretes melatonin out of the same gland, and it goes into the blood. Do y'all need to translate?
You need translation?
Yeah.
הטבע עובד כמשהו כולל, וכשבן אדם בא ומנסה לבצע החלטות על בסיס עצמי ולא לפי הטבע, אז זה גם יוצר שוני, וברגע שאתה חוזר ליסודות היותר דומים לטבע, אז יש אפשרות ליהנות ממה שיש בטבע בלי הצורך למשל. זה מעבר למה שהוא אמר, זה פשוט המסר גם של כל החיים על פי נשימה ולא תזונה. ודיבר על זה שהאדם כמכלול מהטבע, בגלל שהטבע הוא הכל, והאדם אם רוצה להיות חלק מהטבע, אז בבוקר יש בלוטה בחלק הקדמי של המוח, אסטרובל, שהיא מפרישה כימיקל שגורם לנו להתעורר, סרטונין, להתעורר בשמחה, ובלילה את המלטונין שהוא גורם לנו את בעצם מחשבה או את ההרגשה שאוקיי, זה זמן לישון, בעצם עם הסייקל של השמש. אבל לא בכלל המתרגם.
And notice that when these cycles of the sun and the moon take place, you didn't know nothing about it. The body didn't have to ask your permission. It does it by its nature because it's hooked up with nature. There's other hormones that take place because of different cosmic changes. It don't ask our permission. The body is obedient unto the forces of nature. And this is our vehicle we're using. But when we have this mind that I can do what I want to do and make a choice, but the body is under predetermination. So when you find yourself getting further away from the center of, how should we say, the source, you feel pain, sickness, tiredness, depression. When you get back to the source, all of that clears up. This is why meditation is the tool to take you back to the source. Now, give you an example. Here we are as human beings. This is our physical body. This is us right here. But we got a tendency to say, oh, so y'all can see over there. This is the physical body. This is us. And we all can relate to the physical body because we all got one. This is me. Then we got what you call an emotional body. It's invisible, but everybody still talk about it. What about my emotional body? Have you ever seen one? But you talk about it. Then you got a mental body. We can kind of relate to it because we look at it as being in our head. Okay, I am thinking thoughts that's different than this. All right. And then we got a thing called a spiritual body, energy body. We give it all types of names. Now we do got equipment now that can show you the energy body coming off of us, but it ain't out here, it's right here. So some people will say, spirit told me this, spirit told me that, and it seems like it's way out there. Sometimes it talks to you, sometimes it don't. But the reality of the truth is, let's take this circle. This is what you're living in. It's one big hole. It works in unity. It don't get away from it. That's how it operates. And here's the human being, you're living inside of this. This is the total consciousness. You're a consciousness living inside of this. You're identifying yourself as being you. Now you see the physical body, but your thinking is making an emotional body, it's making a mental body, and it's making a spiritual body. What happened is you separated yourself. I go to many retreats and a person will say, tell us things on how we could deal with our emotions. And I say, well, watch what you eat. No, I want you to tell me about my emotions. Your emotions is right here. Your physical body is your emotional body. There is no separation. The more the physical body gets healthy, the more your emotions get stable. Your mental body is right here. People who's in the fasting will tell you they can think more clearly. My thoughts cleared up. Your physical body is your mental body. And your spiritual body, spirit. Everybody talk about spirit. What spirit? You are a spirit. It's the same thing. Nature is looking at you like this. This is the problem. When you're looking at yourself, or the average human being is in fragmentations. Separate. So you're already in a losing battle. You're taking one step forward, 2 steps back. Health go bad. Dreams not being fulfilled. Depression's taking place because of all this separation. And then you got people that surround you in your life. You're looking at them as individuals. Nature ain't looking at it like that. When it moves, everything moves in oneness, so it moves to compensate everybody. It's looking at you just like this. This is how nature is looking at you. But if our perception is looking at everybody like this in our environment, you're separated again. This is where the problems start. Bad relationships, bad goals, not realizing that that's your external self that you have the ability to bring back into wholeness. And this force that we live in, of unity, is so powerful. When you tap into it, it will make sure everything gets straightened out. Your relationships will improve. Your health will improve. Your emotions will improve. So living on prana, if you're living in the wholeness of this, nothing but prana. How is an apple, for instance? Just like your physical body, you're vibrating over here, the apple's over here. And you act like, I need to have that. You don't need to have that. You are this. Right, that's the joke. The great cosmic joke. A cow's over here. I need to go eat a hamburger. Leave him alone. Right. You don't need to touch him. And this is what we're dealing with, because nature again is looking at you like this. Why are you self-destructive? So this is a thought process, first of all, an education of the unified consciousness that we must come into. Now, is that making sense so far?
Yes.
So meditation is the vehicle of going into this process.
Time out.
Okay.
We need to.
Maybe do it in parts because you said a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Just say the best part you think I used to say.
You address it.
He's good at
So
it.
we do a summing. This is what we do.
We
Like
will
we
do a
both
sum.
hear you and then we do a summing.
Yes,
He
and
gives
each
the
one
most.
will-
If he cover it all up, that's great. If you need why
הוא
it's a
מתרגם
support.
ומתרגם.
I will start and if,
Yeah,
I
go
probably
ahead.
won't remember.
No, it's like סיכום, בגלל סיכום.
The main point, הנקודה המרכזית שליטור מעלה זה שהטבע כאחד, גם האדם אמור להיות כאחד, והאדם, בגלל הנתיב שהוא לוקח כדי להפריד את עצמו ולהיות באינדיבידואל שונה מהטבע, אז הוא גם יוצר הפרדה בעצמו בין האני השלם שבנוי מהאני הרגיל, האני המנטלי, האני הרגשי הרגשי זה ורוחני, שבעצם מבחינת הטבע זה אחד. וברגע שיוצאים להשתמש בכלי הזה שנקרא פרנה, ומפסיקים להזין את עצמנו גם מדברים שיצרנו כנפרדות בטבע, כי הטבע מבחינתו אני, התפוח והפרה הם אחד. האדם יוצר את הרצון של אני רוצה תפוח, אני רוצה פרה, כלומר המבורגר, שבעצם אנחנו לא צריכים. וכשאנחנו חוזרים לפרנה, היסודות שלנו חוזרים להיות בתוכנו. ואז אנשים שעשו תהליכים של פרנה, אנשים שעברו לחיים של פרנה, הם אומרים שהמצב המנטלי שלהם משתפר, המצב הרגשי שלהם מתאזן, המצב הרוחני שלהם מתעצם, חווים חוויות מאוד גבוהות, והחיבור שלהם לכלל גם הופך להיות עוד פעם כ-oneness, שבתור בן אדם, אנשים אחרים, במקום לראות אותו כנפרד ממני ואותה, אם אני אומר כולנו באמת אחד, אז ההזדהות שלי והרמת האהבה שלי אליך ואלייך היא כמו אל אהבה לעצמי, ואז כולנו בעצם הופכים להיות אהבה, וזה אולי הרטט הזה של להיות oneness, של אין יותר טוב, פחות טוב, אין אני יכול לאכול תפוח כי אני אדם וזה רק פרי, הכל אחד, וגם בבני אדם, ואז כשכל זה משתלב, לפני זה, כשאנחנו רואים מישהו אחר, זה כמו כאילו מראות שלנו בנפרדות, במקום שנסתכל על כל מקום ונראה אחדות, אהבה, קבלה, זה מה שאני זוכר.
רק להוסיף רק שכאילו הוא מתכוון שהעולם זה הקרנה, שיש לה משפט שאומרים את זה, ואהבת לרעך כמוך, שזה אומר בעצם, אהבת לרעך כמוך, גם את החיסרון שלך וגם את היכולות שלך. אז כאילו זה, אנחנו באמת אחד.
כן, הוא בעיקר אומר לו להפריד, נפש, רגש, גוף פיזי ורגש, כל אחד. Thank you.
All right. But now, since we all fragmented, we need to start somewhere. This don't happen overnight. Everybody, they could talk oneness till they blue in the face. We have been separate for so long, it's hard to make this connection. Your emotions running one way. We've been eating all of our life, so it's like you're a professional eater. Good at it. So this is where you at. What do I supposed to do? Now, when you deal with the esoteric rules, the first initiation, they got different initiations. That just means you just got exposed to knowledge. I want to translate.
חשיפה לידע, exposed to knowledge. Yeah.
יש שלבים בחשיפה ובחניכה לחזור לוואנס מחדש, כי אנחנו התרגלנו כל כך בנפרדות בכל אלמנט, כל איזה שהפכנו להיות רגילים לאכול כל כך הרבה שנים, שלחזור לתוך זה לא, הוא אמר, מדברים כל הזמן להיות אחד, זה נורא קל להגיד כולנו אחד, אבל הדרך באמת לעשות את זה היא תדרוש יותר מרק להגיד את זה, כי זה כל כך הרבה, לאורך הרבה גלגולים כבר, או שנות מחיה של הקיום שלנו, של נפרדות, שזה בעצם הוא דיבר, שצריך לקבל את הכלים, ושלהבין גם שלכל שלב, אני חושב שזה מה שתכוון. You mean that every stage has when it has the initiation, is like the time of getting the knowledge to understand and to do the change?
Yes.
Okay. שלכל שלב של איחוד מחדש עם הדברים שנפרדנו, צריך לאפשר לו את הזמן, כי אתה נחנך מחדש להיות באיחוד עם דברים שהופרדו, או שהופרדו אפילו בשבילך בתור ילד, לפני שבכלל ידעת שזה בסדר אולי לא לאכול, אבל אמרו לך לא תאכל כי לא יהיה לך כאב ראש.
Now there's an important initiation that was separated from humanity and now it's trying to come back. And it's the first and second initiation dealing with spirituality. And it's diet and exercise. Right now you hear diet and exercise being talked about a lot now in the first world countries, right?
Yes.
But that was removed before because everybody was chasing materialism. Like my granddaddy used to say, I don't need to exercise, I do enough work. All right. And then they used to say, I want to eat some food to stick to my ribs. A steak and potato guy. So, it's trying to make a comeback, but guess what? We got to be truthful. Diet and exercise is hard. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Because we're still trying to keep our livelihood. Yeah. Where do I put it? Raise the family. Where do I got time for diet and exercise. And then everywhere you go, there's food here, food there. And we live in an age where they got new foods that never been on the planet before. When I was in America, they had a pizza where the crust was hot dogs. My God, how can you get past that? And then they got chocolate, not just one, many different flavors. So you could get an ice cream cone like this. Right? How are you going to get out of this?
איזה סרט הוא רואה. איזה סרט. חמוד.
And then they got laboratories that are making chemicals to keep you addicted to buy more. This is where it's at. All the sugar is addictive. So how are you going to get out of this? Man, so some people, when they get mad at me and become a skeptic, they're not really mad at me or the knowledge. They saying, do you see what's around us? You see what's in my refrigerator? This is where we at. And in America, even a homeless man could be overweight. That's the truth. You can't starve if you want to. So,
$1 burgers.
right. And then it's better to feed your family from McDonald's off the $1 menu than to go try to buy something healthy. You can feed the whole family. So the system does not support the oneness of somebody living on planet in the first place to become one again. It makes it very difficult. And we really got to be honest to say that. This is where we at. So to make this transformation, meditation is the key for us to transform. Now let's take that word transform. There's another word that's called change. And if you got any type of years on you, you know change always takes place. That's part of life. Y'all need to translate?
I don't know. Do we need to?
It's okay, we're cool. We're good.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe if someone has a question about the word,
Yeah.
they can just say,
All right.
and then we can solve.
So change is a part of life. And you're going to change willingly or unwillingly. We always change. You're not the same person last year. You're not going to be the same person 5 years from now. But now what meditation does, it allows you to take part of that change to help you put back the parts and pieces so you can become one. To stay with the change. Because the change that's taking place in nature is changing, is moving as one whole. It's not moving as separate parts and pieces. So meditation gets you attuned with nature to also make changes with those parts and pieces. If you don't, you're going to get kind of left behind, and you're going to feel it in sickness, illness and disease, and then death. Because the body cannot keep up with the changes that nature is making. One of them I'm going to tell you is about season changes. During the season change, what happens? Everybody's blowing their nose. They got a cold. Because the atmosphere changed, the body supposed to make it change with the atmosphere. But since it couldn't, a person felt sick and brought up flu-like symptoms. The body's trying to clean itself out so it can make changes. The body's trying to heal you and help you to keep up with nature. That's why I tell people when you at least fast once a week. Fast during season changes. So your body can get ready to make the changes that nature is about to make. Sort of like here in Israel, this is the winter time. They went from fall to winter. There was a change that took place, and I guarantee people, there was a bug in the air. No, there wasn't no bug in the air. Your body's trying to change. That's why this is simple knowledge on when to get yourselves in set times and cycles with nature. Now these systems was already created or hidden within the different religions around the planet. Talk about the set times and cycles, universal laws, becoming one with something. But again, we're taking that information and separating it. It's mine over here, but they're just talking about the same universal truth about who we are. You're a self-sustaining being. But these separation fragments must come back. So as we get into the first initiation with the physical body, this is what you can relate to. This is what you see. This is who you see in the mirror. Diet and exercise is the first initiation. And when you start incorporating diet and exercise, this should eventually bring the emotions under control. It should bring the mental body under control. You get to think more clearly when you start getting more healthy. And then your energy will get higher. It's coming closer to the goal. That's just basics. Now everybody can catch that because they're bringing it more, like we said, it's all around now. Diet and exercise, diet and exercise. So now, we're bringing in these other levels. And the level is dealing with the way we think. It's going straight there. Our mental body. Now your mental body really isn't here. It's actually here. But we don't know that yet. But keep in mind that there's something in between the mind and the emotion. Well, let me put it like this here. The mind and emotion is dealing with a program. Your current education or your intelligence is a program that was given to you. Me and him had a conversation. You need to get your protein by eating. Everybody knows that. That's what he said. And then I said to him, and everybody once knew the program, that the only way you could get your protein was from meat. Everybody knew that. Some people still ain't got the program. They still say it. They under the old program. You got to eat meat to get your protein. That's what they say. That came through education. I remember when I was a young child, I had a relative who was feeding us, and they put a plate of food in front of me and say, see, I got all the 4 food groups on there. And they was proud of themselves that they got the 4 food groups to put on a plate. But that's how they was taught, and they was teaching me the same. That was the #1 program that was given to all of humanity. Now when veganism came on the scene, it was hard to come in. People say, no, that won't work, getting on that fad diet. But now pretty soon, like we said, it went over, that's the new program. Now today you got more fruitarians, you got more people eating more 80% live and raw. You can look on the internet and see all the different proteins you can get out of the different vegetables and fruits. Why didn't they know that before? Wasn't that science, dealing with chemistry? I guess somebody ripped that out the page. But anyway, I got a video showing what the word primary means, or protein. Protein means primary substance. The primary substance, and when I looked up the definition, it was oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, argon, water. It was talking about all the substances in the air. Uh-oh, that's protein. And then I showed that one retreat on the medical science they got dealing with what it does to the body when you're fasting. And they said it also builds up protein production in the brain. That's what they said. So the body produces everything it needs because it's living in the oneness.
In a medical book you read that?
This was I should have downloaded the body. There's a video out now showing the medical research they're doing with fasting now. So this is why this is a good age we're in. There's so much research dealing with what the sun can do for you. What fasting is doing. And fasting is on the scene ever bigger than before. On the medical benefits. There's not one research saying it's bad for you. Absolutely not. Intermittent fasting is on the scene.
But this is exactly what vegetables does.
Clean you out.
No.
What would you say?
When you have, for example, when you grow something,
Yes.
how he make for himself protein?
Oh, right. That's just, listen what she just said. One more time.
I'm surprised.
She just said, well, how did the vegetable get the protein? Right.
You make it from
And we
the
just stupid. We just, living organisms can't do nothing. Matter of fact, we got dumbed down so bad that they said the only thing we get from the sun is vitamin D. You know, basically. That's all. The big thermonuclear radiators in the sky affecting us every day, and all you get is vitamin D. You get all of it. C, A, right. But nobody told you that. If they didn't say it, your mind just say, I'm going out and get some vitamin D.
You can wait for a minute. תוכל להסביר מה הוא אמר, לא הבנתי את הקטע של ממה מורכב הפרוטאין, הוא חילק את זה לשתי מילים,
הוא חילק את זה לכמה?
substance, מתכוון לשאלה שלו.
תוכל לתת
אני אוכל אם אסביר לו כי קצת הלכתי Can you explain again about what you found that protein is built from? What are the substances?
Oh, and keep in mind, I found this from an old dictionary. Now keep in mind that when new stuff come out,
The old stuff goes with it.
the old stuff goes with it.
הוא בעצם מצא פירוש של מילון מאוד ישן של המילה פרוטאין.
פרוטאין, שזה הרכב מולקולרי של נתרן, של חמצן, כן, הכל זה בעצם
חומרי הבסיס של כל היקום.
שבעצם מה שנפל לחשוב זה שהצמח לוקח את אותם יסודות ובונה מהם פרוטאין. אז אם הצמח עושה את זה,
כן.
אנחנו לא עולה.
יותר טוב?
Now let's take a look at the three treasures in life. The number one treasure is breath. Then you got food, and then you got water. The three treasures in life. Now, but your number one treasure is actually breath. Why is that? Because you'll die without breathing a lot quicker than without food or water. So that's why they got a thing called breath work, or pranayama, mostly in your yoga exercises. And a lot of your meditations, as soon as you start meditating, it seems like your breath automatically drops itself on its own. When you see a baby sleeping, you see your stomach going in and out. Because when we're young, we breathe in and out of our stomachs. It's going down. As we start aging and getting older, the breath start going upwards. More stress, more food, health start getting bad. So when you start getting these pranayama exercises, that felt good to breathe. Oh man, right? You start feeling some changes to breathe again. The whole body breathing. That's what it's supposed to do, because it's one with the whole. Even your body works at a whole level. They'll tell you a weightlifter, you start working out on the arm, you're changing the leg. It's one whole entity. It don't work in parts. But our mind is still broken up in parts. So we got to bring back this wholeness on how we're thinking, how we're doing things, for the whole benefit of the whole. And then that's what life would become a lot better. See, it's hard for people to realize that your life goals and finances and wealth and everything is basically what's inside you. It's hard for people to see that, because things start coming to you magically. You hear people talk about it, but you mean it's all what's going on inside of me? Yep. Because you're a transmitter. You're transmitting energy out, and you're magnetizing things to come to you. You are creating your reality. So on one level, the physical body, going back to that, it knows it's in touch with the whole. Without a shadow of a doubt. When the sun comes across, it knows what to do. When the moon comes across, it knows what to do, and every other force. It knows it. We just don't know it. These other bodies is doing their own thing, and they're the ones that need to be put back in line to become one again. Your mental thinking is your spirit. Your emotions is your spirit and your mental body. And all of these are one. That's why an expert could look at a person and know that this is the book. Somebody could look in your eyes and tell if your intestines is clogged up. This is heavy. One time I had this friend of mine, and she had on this dress. She was about to go out partying. She had the dress on. Don't this look good? Okay, she had the popped up body figure. But me, I didn't mean it. I just seen the little twitch right here, right? I said, well, you got a pain right there. I do pain right here. How do you know it? Because of how the dress is fitting on her body. See, I just happen to be more skilled to know that your electromagnetic field that comes off of your body affects the physical body. So it showed up on her dress. You can see it. She didn't know it. She just thought it was, just a little something supposed to be there. Something's wrong with you there. Oh, I am pain in here. So that shows you how strong subtle energies are. Now the pharaohs in Egypt, they used to say that their physical bodies were fed from their light bodies. What do they mean by that? Uh-oh.
Again, the physical body was.
The physical body
Yeah.
is fed by their light body.
Fed. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Now, this isn't far-fetched before. 30, 50 years ago, it'd be mythical. Now it's not mythical. All physical matter gives off an electromagnetic field. Even our physical body, even this camera. We got equipment that can measure it now. This field that comes off of our body always changes. Whatever thought we think, whatever we put in our body, the clothes we wear, and you can block these energies from flowing smoothly. It's your responsibility to open them up and keep them open. That's why some people, like how I got on these clothes, there's certain materials I won't wear. Like the nylons and stuff like that. It affects the electromagnetic field. It does. So some practitioners start wearing clothes that will allow the energy to conduct a lot more smoothly through the body so it won't get blocked. Is this making sense?
Yes. Yes. But you're saying that clothes is actually a conductor.
Yes, it could be, or it could be an insulator.
A blocker.
Or a blocker, depending on what you're wearing. So a person to start getting this knowledge, ding, because keep in mind that the physical body is connected with nature. It's going to do its job. And if you're blocking it up, you're just blocking it up.
You mean if it's from organic material or synthetic material? Or...
It's going to make a difference.
Yeah.
מתכוון שאם הבגדים סינתטיים או כותנה זה יכול לשנות על זרימת האנרגיה.
But again, this is living on prana again. Now we're not saying you have to be hardcore, one day you wear something that, this really look good, I can't wear it. Alright, it's not going to kill you in one day, alright? But we're just waking you up to this. These energy centers is all over the body. We all heard about the 7 major chakras, but really you got chakras all over your body. A chakra is everywhere there's a bend in the body. Everywhere there's bends at. There's a chakra here, chakra in the air. Those are energy centers. That's why when you pop your knuckles, that's kinetic energy being let loose. Now, the most chakras is in your hands because you got the most bones in the body. That's why you usually feel the energy in your hands when you're making a ball and all of this. We got prayer hands, people with healing hands. They got healing hands. As soon as they touch me, I felt good. Right, everybody got it. This is an instrument. You got to learn how to start using it. And when you deal with the body, now that's us, looking at 7 major chakras, different energy centers. But nature is just looking at one chakra, one energy center. It's everything up flowing. That determines health. And it's our responsibility again. Now, I know a lot of people probably lost some money before from somebody saying, I can open up your third eye. And you felt good. Oh, they opened up my third eye. All it is going to close itself back down if you ain't changed your lifestyle. Right. We ain't been understanding this. But now you know you can open it. People say, how do I open up my chakras? You know how to open them?
Meditation.
Just open up your chakras. But you hit them on the head. You have meditation. Right, but open them up. They're yours. This is your body. Absolutely. So it's a behavior to understand. Now, a lot of people come at me sometime and say, I was traveling around and they say, man, I'm having trouble sleeping, la, la, la. I only say one question without even asking them. Stop eating that night. Oh, okay. So they must have been guilty because they didn't say nothing back. And they never called me back. The body again. Of course, this is just like common sense thing. Yeah, there's more activity in the daytime. The cells of the body, the weather's a little different. At night it usually get colder, whether if it's wintertime or summertime, the body kind of slows itself down so you can sleep, so you can regenerate. Now, if you're eating at night, you're disturbing that process. So again, the human being is doing, that's my choice. But the body and nature don't care if that's your choice. It's under predetermined law, so those people were having trouble sleeping. They had nothing to do with something was wrong with them. They're just violating universal laws. Now the laws seem invisible. That's why it's easy to violate them. If you don't know, but nature is saying ignorance is no excuse for the law. So when we start teaching on living on prana, or being a breatharian, it's not far-fetched. I'm just a teacher of universal laws. You will have great effect and changes take place just on little subtle changes. Stop eating that night. Oh, I ain't even say change a diet. Just don't eat at that time period. You'll see changes take place. Right.
Initiation time.
Initiation.
Small changes through length of time.
Mm-hmm. That's why when we deal with that word enlightenment, we're looking for this big thing to take place down here. But there's many little different enlightenments you're going to have. That's what growth is about. When we were babies, you grew and went through your different stages. So it's just like now, we still got a lot of what? Spiritual growth to go through. So you're going to have an enlightenment here, an enlightenment here. Now, this is where people are getting hurt at. When I was on eating everything and I was overweight, feeling bad, and then I made my first step into veganism, I seen all these changes take place. I felt better, I lost weight. All right. Now, a lot of people who did that said that this is the divine diet of God. That's what they said. You know, showed me the scripture, and they stayed there. However, and this ain't hitting on nobody or nothing like that, but some people would get stuck at a diet change just because they seen some improvements. But what happens is, yes, you've seen improvements going from there to there, step 1 to step 2. But the body's still hooked up with the wholeness of nature. It don't care about diet changes. Your body don't care about it either. You just help it make a change so it could go back to the source. So therefore, you will find somebody on those diet changes still have something happening physically, saying they don't know what's happening. But due to the knowledge, they're afraid to leave it because they're going off of the victory they already had and thinking this is it. But the body is trying to tell them now to go forward a little bit more. So when I was a vegan, I seen those changes take place, but I wasn't complete yet. I started moving a little further into more live and raw foods, start challenging myself a little more. So you don't want to jump from point A to point B. The body ain't ready for that. So I seen more changes take place. Then I got good and comfortable. Now I could have stopped there. You got people running around, fruitarian is the way to go. Live and raw foods and eating a salad is the way to go. All right. Trying to find out, your body's going to be talking to you. I don't need to argue with them. Because the source don't care about that. It knows who you are. The body knows who it is. It's self-sustaining. Okay, we ate too much fruit. Why are you feeling like that? Uh-oh, it ain't good no more. Now you can make another step. When that happens, you don't have to rush yourself. As I'm talking, your pace is up to you. But I'm just telling you how this is going to take place as you're making these different changes to get closer back to your true nature. Oh, let me put it over here now in the middle. We already got the circle made. You want to be right in that circle, be a self-sustaining by nature, and it will support you. So now, there's other level. People start fasting more, start juicing more, start seeing the wonders that take place. I feel even better. Now you could get stuck there, but you don't have to.
Explain a little bit.
Oh.
Maybe, just in case.
Right.
השינויים, עצם השמיעה שלהם, כל אחד יהיה לו את הקצב שלו, לעשות לעשות את השינויים, ויש גם שינוי שעושים שהוא יכול לשכנע אותך שזה רק הדרך. הוא נתן דוגמאות שאנשים שעברו לאכול רק פירות, או אנשים שהפכו להיות טבעונים, הוא נתן דוגמה שהוא היה טבעוני, שהוא אמר, זהו, עכשיו אני בסבבה. ובאיזה שלב הגוף ייתן את הסימנים שהגוף רוצה את השלב הבא. כי הגוף לא צריך באמת, לפי הפרנה, הגוף לא צריך בעצם לחיות על פירות או על ירקות או רק על צבעונות. הגוף צריך ומיועד לעבוד כחלק מהטבע בלי הדברים האלה. זאת אומרת שהשלבים האלה, ברגע שאתה מגיע למקום נוחות כאילו איתם, זה יכול לעצור אותך מלהתקדם. שבדרך להערה יש הרבה הערות קטנות. ואנחנו מצפים שיקרה פתאום איזה משהו מאוד גדול, שזהו, אני מואר, או זהו, הכל עובד. אז הוא אומר כאילו, אולי הוא מנסה לומר, לא לקפוא על לא לעצור כאילו כל פעם שמרגישים באיזשהו מקום של נוחות. גם אם עושים שינוי אחד, בשלב מסוים, לאתגר את עצמך לשלב הבא. לנסות לחזור למקור, כדי שהחיבור הזה ייווצר, לא להיתקע במקום שמצאת אחד, אז זהו, זה עכשיו אני מחובר, כי החיבור אמור להיות בלי כלום בעצם, חלק מהיקום.
Now keep in mind, I'm going to change the process of these. Here's the vegan, here's more fruits and vegetables, here's more liquids, and this is going in the prana. Now keep in mind that this universal life force is sustaining each person. Even the person that's eating everything that's way back here. They are actually being supported by the center, by the whole. The food that they're eating don't have nothing to do with it. You understand? Same with this person, same with this person. However, when they start making these improvements, people start giving glory over to the food they're eating now. Because they've seen these improvements, and what's taking place, they're still stuck in the illusion. That's all it is. You just went from one illusion to another. It's a better illusion, but it's still an illusion. It's another experience. That's all. And that's what we're meant to be here for. So, you get a person who starts learning more about food freedom. They get here. Now this is a whole other ball game. When people learn about this knowledge. Because, to tell you the truth, there's been people on this path who have, how should I say it? There's people who died on this path. They didn't have the right instructions. You got people who got bitter behind it because they didn't have the right instructions and came up short.
כשמגיעים למצב של פרנה, הוא אומר שהוא לא מסתיר את העובדה שיש אנשים שגם מתו מהתהליך הזה, יש אנשים ספרתי את המילה. You said that some people died and some people... קיבלו את הידע הלא נכון, got the wrong information about it.
Right.
כן, קיבלו את הידע הלא מדויק, ואז הם כאילו אמרו, זה לא עובד וזה לא טוב, זה עשה לי רע. ואז הם, and then they stopped to be praying because it made them feel bad, because they got the wrong knowledge. כן. זה מה שהוא בעצם ניסה לומר, ומשתמש בו איזה שני מונחים מורכבים שלא הצלחתי להתמקד עליהם, אבל ניסיתי שהוא אמר. היה מושג שהוא אמר שרצית לחדד, נכון? כן, בוא נתחיל.
הוא הסביר גם שכאילו כל אדם לא משנה באיזה מקום הוא נמצא, בסוף ההזנה היא מהמקום הפרני.
כן, שאנחנו נתקעים באשליות, שבהתחלה עוברים נגיד לפירות, או אחרי זה לטבעונות, זה סוג של אשליה כל פעם של פה אני עכשיו וזהו וזה לא, כי זה אשליות שאנחנו משלים את עצמנו שבעצם זה מה שאני אמור לעשות, ובעצם משהו בוא נאמר שמה שאתה אמור לעשות זה, הוא חוזר על זה בקיצור, הנושא הזה של לנסות להגיע לשאיפה של אין צורך במזון. ושאם אתה מגיע לפרנה, אז תגיע בדרך של הלמידה, וכשאתה מגיע שיהיה לך מספיק ידע כדי שגם לא תמות מהחוסר ידע וגם לא תתאכזב ותחזור למשהו אחר, שבעצם יסיט אותך מהדרך שאליה רצית להגיע.
And just like anything, knowledge increases. Because keep in mind that living on prana, it's always been here, but it's making a resurrection back to the masses. So just like anything from when it first comes out until now, there's been trial and error, and knowledge has gotten a lot better on how to convey it to the people and through people's experience that they're giving out. All I'm giving you is my experience on the level I went through, and shows that it's it will work for people because it's user-friendly. Just like anything, safety first. Do that make sense? They tell you in the workplace. So we cannot act stupid with ourselves. So again, the reason why we have a lot of people going into it the wrong way, because their vibration is way back here. They hear you could be food free, that's up there. They put tape on their mouth. Please sustain me, please. And it don't happen like that. This energy it's this subtle energy. It's so powerful, the vehicle can't handle it. You're still a vibration like that. Try to call on something, you should be up here. You should make stages in your life to prepare the house to bring in a new energy. This is a house, a temple. It needs preparation. It needs to transform itself. All spirituality is talking about this transformation that has to take place. And this is what we're doing. You must change yourself on the cellular level, genetic level, all of this, in order to take on another influx of energy. Just like how we was playing with it with the meditations. It's real, you feel it. But you want it to flow more through your body with no blockages. And the more you meditate, the more you can get more cosmic energy flowing through your body. Your body remembers it all the time. All right, we're doing it again. We're doing it, it can hold more. So when it gets to a certain level, you should be able to step into food freedom easy without being hungry or thirsty. This takes education and time. Is this making sense?
Yes.
It ain't far-fetched. You got the equipment. You're already part of this. Somebody just have to remind you. That's all it is. I ain't teaching nothing new. So, dealing with this meditation again is bringing this whole organism back into one. Because what's the first step of meditation? Relax the body. As soon as you relax, the energy starts flowing. And they didn't even deal with these yet. The emotional body, what is that? Something we made up. It is. Drama queen. That's what it is. Then the mental body, you start dealing with all of these thoughts. Then you start learning just to let them pass through. Don't give them no power. We give thoughts power. Absolutely. We have so much power that a word can have a definition, and we could change the definition to fit our need. People do it all the time. On one level, they'll say, give you an example. Watch what you say, okay? Because that has great power to it. Okay, there's a truth to that. But one day I seen a great woman, a group of women. She had her grandkids with her. And the other woman said, oh, so you got your grandkids today? Yeah. And they show is bad. Okay, now listen to the words she used, bad.
And that what?
She said they sure are bad.
Oh, okay.
You know, bad like feisty.
Yeah.
But bad on one level, oh, you ain't supposed to say that to your grandkids if you love them. But she's using it with another terminology. Because the other friend said, yeah, I know what you mean. That's in their language, their culture. Bad just means she's having fun with them. They're running around. They got her on the go. But she means it in a lovingly way. She changed the definition with her intent. So she's not cursing them with that type of power. You understand? So we have the power to change things, and we do it all the time. That's how street lingo is made. They say a word, but that's not what it says in the dictionary, but we're using it for this now. So, the way you start looking at food will change the what? Power and the behavior of how it's acting on the body. That's why you'll see some people at this level, and they'll go get a cappuccino. Why do they get a cappuccino and not an orange juice? Because this person understands that orange juice ain't sustaining them, neither is the cappuccino. They got something that just tastes good. They was having an experience. Now if they wanted the orange juice, I want to have that experience. That's a whole nother ballgame. But the person back here, they made in their belief system, the orange juice is healthy. I ain't putting nothing else in my body. But, again, that's a belief system. Now, as we say this, nobody's arguing that some foods have higher energy quotients than others. So, as I say this, I want you to put it in this proper perspective. Because some people get that thing, I can eat anything then once I become pranic.
Kenny?
You can, but then again, why would you? Because once you get into a certain state of thought, like where I'm at, there's certain foods I outgrew that I don't want to touch that energy no more. So it's a growing process. You will go through a process where you'll play, because you can. But to get past that, you're going to just start seeking light attracts light. That's your next stage. You don't play with any old thing no more. Because you want to go into another experience, go into your wholeness. That's something you should be desiring. Especially in this life, if your feet is on the ground, it's your turn. Why not? The ancestors did what they did. It's your turn. You should be wanting to fulfill this. It's an exploration of consciousness. So not only this is you right here, all these bodies coming back together, the great exploration is this is you. And you're really going to start experiencing it. You go into places, and it won't be no miracle like that no more. It's just everything will go your way. This is serious. I was even in India one time looking for a place. As soon as I came off the train, and I was in a part where nobody really spoke English, one dude just pointed where I needed to go. I didn't know that. I didn't have to question it. I just went where he pointed. That was the place I needed to go. That is me. It told me where I needed to go next. You start trusting the universe. You don't have no enemies. Everybody's your friend. I'm a nomad. I got family all over the place. Right here. I ain't gonna hurt myself. Right. That's the expansion of consciousness. That's the spiritual journey. You should desire that. Other than that, when you keep living fragmented, those people, that people, my emotions is bad. My mind is playing tricks on me. Right. Everything's separated. In fragments. And that's why the human being's destruction takes place, because of inert energy. That means that the energy destroyed itself. You destroy yourself. Whoa, did I say that? Yeah. It happens all the time. Made yourself sick. All the time. But when you come back into this oneness thought, if you had the power to make yourself sick, you got the power to heal yourself. That's the thing. And you always see a testimony from somebody who had a chronic disease and they beat it. You know, you'll see it once in a while. But to know now that you can do this, it's a very powerful thing to be able to heal yourself. And the second most powerful thing is, even if you get sick, you know why you got sick. Because you ate too much cake. And then you know how to heal yourself again. So coming back into this unity frequency is very important, and that's the pranic lifestyle. That's why I say, now listen at this word. It's a holistic lifestyle. Listen at that word holistic. What comes to your mind when you think about holistic? Whole. What else?
Pizza. It's just
As long as you one with it, whole with it. It tastes different. You made a point.
Spiritual.
Right. Well, holistic, wholeness.
Holy.
Holy. That's the word I was looking for. All talking the same thing. It's a whole organism in itself. And if it's holy, if it's holistic and it's whole, it's self-sustaining. There ain't no argument. It's one with the system. The overall system, the bigger system. Uh-oh. The little system, that's the one that's making rules, regulations. You know, eat rice today is good for you, it's bad for you if you eat it tomorrow. Right, diet changes, this is good, you're jumping here, jumping here. What's the perfect diet? Nobody can say nothing. Because they're all illusions. They're just experiences you're having. So your whole goal is to become whole again. The male and female energy, Shiva and Shakti, Adam and Eve, the two candlesticks. Religion been talking to you, got a negative and a positive in you, a male and a female energy in you. Coming just like this light. Well, with a light there. There it is. I'm up there pointing at candles. It got a negative side and a positive side. They must come together for the light to come on. And we're all different lights giving off a certain frequency. Some more brighter than others. And the dimmer it becomes, the sicker it becomes, until the light goes out, and that's what we call death. In order to keep the light on, or make the light get brighter, you got to get educated on energy flow. And work with this energy flow. And the more you work with this energy flow, you don't need to look at somebody else no more. See, there's another word they use in spirituality. It's called self-realization. Uh-oh. Now anybody can tell me what that means?
Akara עצמית. Self-realization that you realize something about yourself.
Right. About yourself. You realize something about yourself. See, pretty soon he's going to be like the way you know where's the school. Okay, I got a question. He's like, ooh. Now you're always raising your hand. But anyway, self-realization. That's what you want to start getting into. Because when you're believing on somebody else's testimony, that's all you're doing. Whether it be in the past or today. That's a story. You want to take those things and make it your own self-realization.
You said there is no self.
Huh?
You said there is no self.
Well, that's going to be your end goal. Well, let's look at these words so we won't be confused. I said there's no self. Well, let's put it like this. In meditation, they start out saying you get past the physical body, you get past the mental, you get past the intellect to the self. Now, the self they're using in that terminology is you being one with the whole, which is you. So that's what I mean by yourself. Did I kind of clear it up? So you don't want to be that individual that we're saying away from your real self. Or they say your higher self. These words is very confusing. We're splitting it up again. But everything we want to get it back into unity. So I'm glad you said that. Words can be very confusing if we ain't all got the same definition. Because when I say a word, somebody else would define it on how they were taught, and it still causes confusion. So we just say the consciousness, everything is conscious. One girl said something real important about, and the old folks used to say this. They used to talk about bad luck people. Don't put so-and-so in your car, it's going to start running different. You know, that's what they used to say about certain people. But as I get older working with energy, it kind of makes sense. And some girl said today, I started talking to my car differently, and it works differently. Whoa, you mean physical matter is changing on the way we are? Absolutely. Not just adamant things, also inanimate things. Because of nature. When we think of nature, we just think of rivers, trees, stuff like that. So people ask me sometimes, well, you only can live on prana if you're in nature. How about the city? The city is nature. Who told you it wasn't? Since when did it get taken out of this? Uh-oh. I'm in the city meditating in a room, the energy's still high. Prana's still there, it didn't leave. There really is no such thing as man-made. You're getting everything from nature. Just creating things because that's what you do. Does this make sense? So everywhere you go, you self-sustain. It don't matter if it's in an urban city or you in the countryside. The energy don't stop. It's still part of nature. We live in an electromagnetic field of the sun. Everywhere you go, you don't get out of it.
But you get it from Earth as well. I mean, they say if you're meditating and sitting on Earth, on the ground, then you get better energy, you get...
You talk about grounding and earthing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you brought that up. Because I just bought some rope shoes yesterday. I got tired of the rubber. All right. She's talking about the energy coming from the earth, the terrestrial energy. Then you got the cosmic energy. It's always raining on us. You get it from our local star, the sun, from the distant stars you see. And keep in mind, the distant stars you see at night, just by you seeing them, y'all already touched. We just think of this, all of this, blah, blah, light years, but y'all touch. So it's affecting you. Absolutely. So that cosmic energy is always raining on us, and there's earth energy that's always coming up. This is the conduit in the middle. That's why in the scriptures they say what? Heaven and earth. I saw a new heaven and I saw a new earth. I mean that somebody got a new mind and a new body. They became one. They changed. They transformed. Right. Energy's running smoothly. The earth energy coming up. Always. And the what? Cosmic energy constantly raining on us. Now, we also got our own inner energy, our personal energy. Nobody's arguing that. You're born with it. That's why in China they use a term called before heaven chi and after heaven chi. That means before heaven energy and after heaven energy. What that means is the energy you were born with, you had nothing to do with it. You got that from your family, you know, you got your grandmother's nose on, your grandfather's ears. Right. They all put everything, you're full of information. That's how you were born. This is what I got to work with. Now that's before heaven energy. After heaven energy is how you use it. Like I said, it's your feet on the ground. It's how you start using it. I'm going to use it this way. Instead of becoming bankrupt, I'm going to learn to put money in a bank, energy in a bank, spend it wisely, because not only you gaining energy, it's also how you spend it. Here we go again. It's an energy exchange. You're constantly receiving energy and getting rid of energy. Now, I'm glad I brought that up. Your more denser foods. Right. It takes more energy to digest it. Does that make sense? It takes a lot of energy to digest the foods of what you eat. It's just that you're eating for energy. We need to eat. But now we need energy to digest it. And it takes a lot of energy to digest food. And the more denser foods you eat, they cause you to what? Get more tired. Get more sleepy. And then the more you start aging, it really becomes a problem. Uh-oh. And there's a thing called, well, we'll keep going over that. So that's why I found my changes taking place, even before I knew what living on planet was, when my health started improving. I started lightening up my diet. So that means not only I was eating for energy, because food is an energy, it's fossil fuels, dead plants and animals. But it was taking less energy to digest it than it was before. So of course I saw health improvements. That's why you see them. But there's another thing that's called the quantity of how much you're eating. He who eat less live longer. That's an ancient proverb. Right. Because it'll take less energy by you eating less meals. Now that, you can eat something, but just to say, you're eating less. And it takes less energy to get rid of it. So it's like you put more money into the bank, and you're just spending a little, and your bank account is growing. This is what we're talking about. The body can hold more light. Uh-oh, here we go. So now, we add in this meditation. Meditation is awesome. And it's hard again. I want to tell the truth about it. Why is meditation hard? Due to your daily schedules. When am I going to put it in? Sometimes I meditate or fall asleep every time I meditate. I've been doing this over and over again and it's boring. Then you got the monkey mind playing with you. Let's go on Facebook.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go see the show that's coming on tonight. All of this stuff is up against you. Wah, 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 wah. What do I do? Now, when I look back on it, I did something I had to help myself. This is what we're in the age that, keep in mind, there's two things that's taking place. You got the internal teacher within you. All of us have it. Because you're still part of the center, so all the answers is in you. Some people say, well, the answers is in me, I don't need no teacher. But as soon as you do that, that's your mistake. Because it's not strong enough yet to be heard. If it did, you'd already be enlightened. You understand? It's a weak force right now. Like I said, the person was way back with the dense diet of real density. It's still being sustained by the force, but it's so covered up to listen to that voice. There's many voices talking. One is saying you need to do the right thing. The other one saying go eat the whole cake. Right. It's a tough scenario. And no matter what level you're at, even myself, I still had to understand the teacher is in me, but I also learned how to utilize my external teachers. Look how I put an S on it. Teachers. Uh-oh. This is getting good to recognize this. So as you're growing, with this energy that's inside you that you want to grow, first, the inward energy needs your support to stay consistent. The energy, the light is already in you, but it needs you to stay consistent. It's sort of like there's a fire that's lit, and you're the fire keeper. How it says in the scripture that fire must never go out in the temple. The priest's job was to go every day and make sure that fire was lit and burning. You got to make sure you do something in your cultivation and your life to keep the fire lit. That's your part. Don't worry about the bigger part. And the external light is, you either get people or a person or a group or a teacher to focus on, because what you feed your mind, what you feed your eyes, feed the internal light. Uh-oh. We don't want to go back to sleep again. Because if you become woke, you can go back to sleep. Absolutely. If you open up your chakras, you can close them again. If you can become food-free, you don't have to be food-free. Right. And other levels. I can keep going back and forth. There's an ascension and a descension that takes place with us every day, dealing with vibrations and frequencies. Now, you ain't got to judge them with good or bad. There's times you can go back what we call a lower frequency for whatever you want to experience. But now you've got the knowledge of how to come out of it. You're learning it. Then you can start learning going forward when you're ready. You understand? That's all we're dealing with. So you can have a more enjoyable life. Because what's been happening with people was they'll get caught in a life experience. And that experience became so real, they don't know how to get out of it. And they don't know, it's just dealing with frequencies and vibrations. They let it kill them. You're stuck in the experience, and that's not you. That's all it is, an experience. You're not stuck on an addiction like that, that situation like that. You're more powerful than that. You just have to wake up to that now. Okay, the experience is over, bye. Right. Move on out. And go into another experience of the energy exchange. That's what we're dealing with. Now, he said a good point earlier about energy and physical fitness. Now, listen how I said that. Energy and physical fitness. And going back to the first initiation, diet and exercise. Now, you might have to master diet and exercise before you get into meditation. Did I say that? Yep. Because meditation sounds a lot more enjoyable when the body does feel a lot more healthy, have a lot more confidence in itself. And some people, it's vice versa. They prefer meditation first before they discover diet and exercise. Because I found a whole lot of people in one place I went to, they was good meditators. They was coming out. I've been meditating for 20 years, 30 years. And they had the belly coming out, but they had some sickness. Have you ever heard of a guru belly?
Yeah.
A guru belly is a person who meditates so much that they don't hardly get no movement. They grew a big belly, so it's blocking up the chakras.
What was the last sentence? Can you come?
Oh,
Repeat
they
that?
meditate so much,
Yeah.
and they don't hardly get that much movement.
Yeah. And?
So their belly started to grow, which is energy.
Yeah.
So it blocked up the energy flow of the chakras.
Oh, okay. You see all the statues, the little belly.
Right. Those Buddha statues came
Yeah.
after the fact.
What are statues?
Right. And they made Buddha be
He
real
doesn't
fine.
look very fit.
Right. And,
Yeah.
and that was made up after the fact from the original. That probably was another symbol
Yeah.
to keep us down. Yeah, he didn't look very fit. But that's called a guru belly.
Okay.
Elita, can an animal become breatharian?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. See, we're all expressing ourselves in different modes of consciousness. Meaning, a dog has a dog consciousness. It can do a lot of things, but that's the consciousness he's under. Our consciousness, all we're doing is using it for it's very extreme. I mean, even when you pop a towel, you just broke the sound barrier. That's what we can do. We're the beings that can build things outside of ourselves more than any other animal. So what makes us different than other animals, we are animals, but it's due to our consciousness or the abilities that we can do with it. So right now, that looks like that's for us. Now, I'm glad you brought that up, too, dealing with the revolution of leaving certain animals alone so they can take care of themselves instead of eating them. They don't have time to evolve or can evolve because we're too busy eating them. So we're stagnating evolution. Not only in them, but also in ourselves. Let them evolve and you go ahead and evolve. You don't need to mess with them and let them do their thing. But everything comes stagnant when we keep on having that type of behavior. But that tells us too that the creation is rejecting us too. That's why premature death is on the scene. Nature said, okay then, that's what you want to do, go ahead. You don't have to do that. You could have went a lot further. Why do I boldly say that? Because we have an epidemic on this planet right now called preventable diseases. That means it could have been prevented. That means the lack of knowledge of energy flow.
I guess that goes well for babies, right?
Well,
babies can't be
nature,
breatharians.
Absolutely, I don't even teach that.
Yeah.
Because nature shows us the growth of things. Sort of like an apple seed becoming an apple tree. Or even from an apple that's not ripe to an apple that's ripe. We know now that a person's brain ain't even fully developed till they turn 25. You understand? So they go through their stages. The baby goes to the mother, for the milk.
Yeah.
Then it goes to Mother Earth. Then it goes to Sky Father.
Okay.
Let it go through its evolution. Because people would believe me. If you tell them that, I'm going to put Johnny right here so he can be a breatharian.
Yeah.
Child abuse, right.
Yeah.
Ellie Tom said, let that, you created them. Let them go through the stages.
Yeah.
That's why it's better to be born in a family where you got food than a family that ain't got no food. Did I say that? But what I'm teaching you is you're eating your way to food freedom. So the other words reverse. To be food free, you just stop eating, you get prepared with your mind. Absolutely not. That's too much stress on the body. The body thinks you're trying to kill it. So you see people lose too much weight. They'll wake up with a eating disorder, and all of this stuff. We don't need to do that. The universe is user-friendly. Take your time, that will guide you. And that inward voice will tell you, without a surety of a fact, when something is not with you no more. In other words, I used to like avocados. Tell everybody the story. We was in love, had a good love affair going. But one day, the avocado just didn't taste the same no more. Tasted another one, still didn't taste the same. That right there was the indication it ain't going to be the same no more. Just like a real relationship is over with. Now I can move on. It's your last closure. So by everybody being food eaters, everybody has that favorite food you still like. Don't worry about that. Enjoy yourself, but also add on this knowledge that you're learning and get yourself into this cycle at least of what? First and second initiation.
Meditation, diet, and work.
Exercise. Right. Those are the first three. You'll have, and those don't end. There's so much in the package. We look at them as boring, but that's part of the transformation. And then, like where we at now, this is where it gets good. There's a saying that says, you become a walking meditation. Now listen at that, a walking meditation. What does that mean?
You become meditative
in everything you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it seemed like a lot of work in the beginning. Man, I got to meditate, get some time here. But when you start getting that energy flow and understanding and keeping it flowing, and you got a better lifestyle, you don't need to spend time meditating. You're already in a meditator's level. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right.
Meditative state of mind. They call it in meditation classes sometimes. Meditative state of mind lifestyle. That means that every aspect of life that happens even during the day, you treat it as if you were in deep meditation because you evolve.
Exactly.
You won't react as you used to because.
And that's not right. And that's not far-fetched. It's sort of like how we was doing the qigong. See, I feel like that right now. You know, the connection is here. I feel it. I feel the whole body. All I did was, due to the last knowledge that people had, they was taught to get out of their body. We all going to die. You're going to a place up in the sky. That's a real program. So you don't care about losing a physical body because you've been looking at everything, everybody else leaving a physical body. So you got that program. What I did, I had to reverse my thinking. I came back into my body. That's what meditation does, the cosmic energy, the earth energy. It's running. So now I feel the feet. I feel the hands. So you feel that qigong experience all around you. So I don't have to be in meditation. It's a feeling state you have your body into. Uh-oh. So now if I was to eat food, I can feel the energy flow. You can eat it if you want to. You understand for the experience. But where I'm at now, why should you? There's levels and degrees again. But again, don't try to jump to this degree I'm at. I've been doing this for 19 years. That's a whole other ballgame. Now let's talk about this.
Now I want to ask something about that thing you said. You said about the stages, that it took you 19 years to come to this position.
Right.
But if I find it fantastic at a point before that,
Oh, go.
why not staying there?
Oh, exactly.
Philosophically, I'm asking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, when I say 19 years on this path, yeah, you can do it anytime you want to. There was times in the middle of my walk, you know, I went long periods of time to say this and that, and then the situation came about. Now, keep in mind what living on planet is. It's to eat very little or none at all.
Okay.
You don't have to go none at all to say that you're pranic.
Yeah.
That's not it. We got to nip that in the bud.
Mhm.
Because a lot of pranic people won't come out because of that. Because somebody will come out and say, see, they still eat food because I seen them eating. And they was probably eating with a grandkid or something. You know,
Yeah.
like you're not allowed to do that because people want to make you into a god. But then I want you to do it, but I don't need to do it. I just want to see you do it. Right. They on guard, watching you and stuff. Right. So we want to quit that right now. So it's eating very little because you want to enjoy yourself in life. If you've seen a food you never ate before, you should be able to taste it. I want to see what that tastes like.
Curiosity.
That don't mean you need to get stuck there.
You said part of growing our awareness is once we get back into the hall is to explore out of there.
To explore. One time I'm going to tell you what happened. I was walking one day and this new restaurant got built. And it said Sushi House. Now, I never tasted sushi before. But I heard everybody else talk about it. And I was already frantic, not eating, feeling good. But it kept bothering my mind. Am I going to live a life never tasting sushi? Absolutely not. So I'm going to go taste some sushi. So I went, ordered some, tasted it. Whoa! This was good. So I went, ordered some more. Took it home. Da, da, da. Next day I went back. Da, 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 da. Next day. Da, 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 da. I eat my sushi. Right. I got every flavor they had. Yeah. Now at the end of the week, I was satisfied. I tasted sushi. It don't need to be part of my life no more. And haven't had sushi since. There's no need. I'm crystal clear. That was a good experience. Does that make sense? So you got the power of this skill to pick it up, have your enjoyment, and then put it down. On the last frequency, you were just stuck. I have to eat. I have to eat. I have to eat. So we have to make this clear. Whew, this is good, ain't it? Coming back to the center. And let me tell you why this is for everybody anyway. When you're eating every day, you're not even tasting the food no more. When you take a break and come back and taste something, see what it tastes like.
Tasty.
Right, it's tasty. Even water tastes good. I was in Italy one time and I wasn't drinking for like a couple weeks because I wanted my energy to be a certain way. And a friend of mine said, let's go to the cafe. I said, well, I'm not drinking. And I said, well, I'm with my friends. Let me go quit that mess. I ordered a lemonade and man, I got high. I could taste everything. This is what lemonade tastes like. A real experience. Experience life to its fullness instead of letting a habit dumb you down to where it's not fun no more. Desire leads to craving.
But it's because of the state you've been at, or because you're panic?
What's that?
It's because of the state you've been at. You said you can feel the energy. You can feel the energy of the lemonade also.
Oh, no. No, let me answer that right. Because of the stage I'm at now?
Because of the state, or because of your planning life, or...
Oh, well, check this out to make it seem user-friendly. Let's go back to step number 1. You're part of this, that's the reality. It's just that our separation of our thought is doing it. So just by you, if you was to right now, you're already a pranic being. It's just that you don't know it, I'm just reminding. So you will have those experiences now. If you back up a little bit and start working on yourself and come back and taste something, it'll taste totally different. That's what I'm telling you. But now as you keep growing, it becomes more of a reality, and you'll start exercising that more. Does that make sense? Did I answer it?
He also said, הוא גם אמר לפני זה שהוא היה בנקודה מסוימת, בלי שום קשר לזה שהוא היה פאני, שהוא החליט שהוא עכשיו לא שותה בכלל מים כדי להגיע לאיזה רמת אנרגיה גבוהה, ואז הוא חווה את החוויה עם הלימונדה. בגלל זה, כי החושים שלו יותר כל כך עדיף, כי הוא לא שתה כל כך הרבה זמן, כלום. אז כי הוא אמר לפני זה, גם מים יכולים פתאום להיות סופר טעימים כשאתה לא שותה הרבה זמן. אז הוא שתה לימונדה,
הוא ענה על זה, הוא דיבר על הזמן ולא על הסטייט או על המצב.
לא על המצב הכללי, בגלל שבאותה נקודה ספציפית, כן, יכול להיות שאם הוא היה שותה מים ולא אוכל, אז הוא לא היה חווה את החוויה.
Now we're going to go over the 5 pillars. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, let me use this one. This is a big pillar. The 5 pillars of spiritual growth. Now, usually when a person wants to start living on prana, you see the information I'm giving. Don't be hard on yourself. Take it easy. Take it step by step. But again, a person want to rush into it. And they have this bad thing take place. Now, the first pillar is what everybody hits. You heard about living food-free, so you go into the first pillar. And the first pillar is called the first concealment.
Concealment?
Like something is hidden from you.
Okay.
Concealment.
Concealment. Okay, didn't hear you.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, concealed. Okay.
So something is concealed from you. What? You hear me talking, you're already one with nature. You are nature. You're one with the source. You are the source. You're self-sustaining. You're hearing this, but it don't feel like it. So you go into the first concealment. I don't feel nothing. And matter of fact, you kind of get mad because you're not being sustained. It ain't going to sustain you yet. Why? You don't know why? Something wrong with me? Something, is they lying to me? They just trying to take my money? Right! What's going on? That's the first concealment. Everybody hits it. Wow. And most people give up, start blaming everybody, blaming the teachers, blaming the curriculum. Right. The first concealment, because nature don't know you yet. You've been gone for a long time. You got to go that way. So everybody hit the first concealment. But it's done like that for a reason. Because a lot of healing is going to start taking place. You must heal first before the higher forces can sustain you. That's why you start feeling emotional body coming up. Stuff in the past start coming up. Right, it's a scary journey, it seems like. Right, all this stuff takes place right here. A healing crisis takes place. They talk about this energy, that Ellie time. I don't feel no energy. I feel like I'm getting weaker. Right, that's where it's at. It's healing crisis. Like I said, don't give up. Just be consistent. Let the healing crisis take place. Then you go into the second concealment. That's when you stayed in there for a while. You've been fasting once a week, you meditate more regularly, you see some improvements taking place, but I'm still ain't being sustained like that guy. What's going on? I see my health improve, I got that. I'm eating more fruits, okay, I got that. I lost some weight, but what's going on with that guy? I'm not being sustained. There's still some work being done. You're concealed still, or the universal forces seem hidden from you. You don't feel it like that. You know a little bit more, but just stay consistent. There's still healing taking place, both internally and externally. It could be on your relationships, your job, your location, you're being moved around. All this stuff is taking place so nature and you can get back together. That's what must happen. You've been gone for a while. Old beliefs is being broken. Then you figure it out. Something takes place. This is the most important one right here. The third pillar is the pillar of correction. That's where the creature realizes, fully realizes, there's some serious corrections I must make in order to be heard by the higher forces. That's when you start learning more about universal laws. The higher forces ain't going to change. The creature must change. See, back when we was here, we still was under belief systems, believe it or not, that's blocking energy. It's supposed to sustain you. It's supposed to do that. And you're not really making no corrections in the lifestyle yet. But when you make the corrections, meditation kind of become mandatory. That's your bread and butter. Be in certain situations. If you don't like it no more, I'm making corrections so I can get the highest quality energy flow as possible. That's when you start getting more light into the body. You got the bowl too. You're making corrections. You might even have to move, get into nature more. Right. That's the correction. To get in alignment with the higher forces. Then this is called the first revelation. This is where it gets good. You're getting more influxes of energy than what we've been talking about. As soon as you sit down a minute, you ain't even got to meditate. You feel, now I know what he's feeling like. Right. Now I got it. And now you know you can be food free if you want to, but you start enjoying yourself. This is usually the conscious eating level. You got the power now. But you're still just dealing with certain habits that you still like, you being easy on yourself. But you worked your way up there. First concealment, second concealment, correction. Now you're at the first revelation. You see, actually you start declaring you're a pranic being. See, this is what making people, there was some woman just put a thing on, talking about all pranic people eat, they do this, they do, that's what she's saying. She just meeting the ones at this stage. That's who she met. She ain't meet this stage yet. What she did, she met me. She just thought, well, she gave me that good credit. But him, right. But this is the stage. And then you get into the full revelation. This is when you straight up, without a shadow of a doubt, pick it up, lay it down, life changed completely. You're hooked up with the universal sources. And let me tell you how deep consciousness is. Every situation you in, the answer will come to you on what to do, how to get out of it, and how to deal with it. It will come to you when you start getting to these stages. You're hooked up with the universal life matrix. This is the journey. So that's why I said, if you're not planning on giving up food, at least watch what you eat. You understand? So you can tap in more into this. Everybody's living on prana. Always keep your health message in front of you. That's what this is. This was a health message. This was a person starting with the first and second initiation, going to the second concealment. Okay, I still don't feel that, but I do see some improvements. Now I need to make more corrections with the knowledge I have. I had to tell this one group, y'all read so many books and been in so many workshops, now start putting to use what you already learned. Mm-hmm. You don't need to learn no more. Start putting in that action. Right. Then you'll get here, that's when it really gets good. More influx of energy, you know you're food free, you know you're living on prana, and right here you're into your fullness. You're basically one with the matrix, a creative energy. creating, you ain't even got to think about it no more. Absolutely not. There's a saying that says, your prayer and your effort, you did that and you think that got you results. But you really didn't need to do that because the result was coming anyway.
Yeah, I believe I'm somewhere between the second and the third for a long time now.
Right.
And I want to ask you something. How long do you sleep at night and when do you wake up and go to sleep? Because when I got to that point, I started to have like more and more white nights of creativity and energy. And I wouldn't sleep until I would go like 3-4 days and then I would crash.
Right.
So how is your sleep regular? Like you go to sleep at like 9 and you wake up at 6?
Oh, no. Actually, I do about 2 to 4 hours of sleep, and I don't even really call it sleep. You know, I recharge, regenerate there. But to help you out when you get that big influx of energy, when I first started being food...
I might be wrong. I might be the first one. That's what my mind tells me.
Oh, well, good. You're right about that to this next stage. Because I'm glad you brought that up. What he's saying is when that energy came in, for some people it could be too much, and they purposely grind themselves out.
That's what I did.
They purposely, because they don't know what to do with it or handle it yet. So that happens to a lot of people. It almost happened to me one time. Because I got fanatical with it. When I first came into it, I got this big influx of energy. Okay, here I am. But I had this big project that I was doing that was bigger than me. So I loved it. And I was completing all this stuff. Wow. So then I started sleeping at night in the sitting up position. I got some pillows and I was sleeping just like this in a meditation so my spine could be straight up. So this energy was really off the hook. That's why I know too, you can eradicate sleep too, or you really don't sleep like that. As soon as somebody comes to the house door, I can feel them coming. So that's how deep the energy was. Now I loved it at first, it was a new experience. But over a period of time, after the project was over, now listen at this. What do I do with myself now?
You have so much energy, you must
Right.
do something.
Facebook. No, just kidding.
Some people do, right? So, a lot of people get there and they start cutting it down. Until I learned that there was a meditation. You can actually, you got so much power over these energies, you can also slow it down to get yourself more rest. It's sort of like, and not so much as a technique, I would tell you to imagine the energy coming at the top of the head, you cut it down. Get a radio, like a dial, turn it down and the energy will cut down. But just command it to, slow down, stop. That's how much power you got over it. That's how I'm talking now. But we didn't know that before, that we got much. Your intent, see, energy is just energy.
Which times do you get that rest? Like, that's what I'm trying to get. Like at midnight, you try to get that 2 to 4 hours rest. At 4 a.m., when?
It depends how the day went. Like yesterday, I did a big workshop in Amarine, and probably about midnight, yeah. And then about 3 in the morning, I was looking around. Right, so about that depends how the day went.
But what happened to the mental state when you don't go into a deep sleep, like our brains, stress-wise?
Oh, the reason, okay, now this is the deal. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
You're glad everything that we brought up. Everything we said,
Oh,
I'm
man.
glad you brought that up.
Hey, good question.
You're even glad when you bring up stuff.
There's so
I'm
much
glad.
in it.
It's happy
Yeah.
in general.
It's amazing, I know.
Yeah.
It's a joke between us. It's a long story.
When you're dealing with the pranic journey, this is the reason why it's a health journey. The indication that you know you're getting more prana is your health will improve. Does that make sense? You'll feel more energetic, that's more prana. Your sleep will decrease. Now, why would your sleep decrease? Because you're feeling more healthy. Because you only need to sleep or sleep a whole lot to regenerate for energy. Sleep is unconscious meditation. That's why you get energy through meditation. When you start putting meditation in your lifestyle, you are now tapped into the matrix to get energy besides sleeping. Now, sleeping, you get limited energy. Meditation, you get unlimited energy. So it starts taking the place of sleep. So dealing with your mind and stuff, if you healthy and stuff, you won't have all that stress on the mind.
Or concentration. They say if you don't sleep continuous hours, your concentration will not be the same the next day.
Well, that's when you force it in, you live that other lifestyle. We're talking a whole other shift.
Because what we were taught is that if we don't get some sleep, we won't be able to focus. And
Right. And right now the lifestyle, like we're saying, is a change of lifestyle. If you try to force it now, what you said could be correct. When you're meditating, it's become natural.
which what happens to me. 3-4 days, and I was like crashed.
It'll be natural. Now notice this, everything will come natural. Too many people keep trying to force stuff. Some guy texted me last night, what did he say? Tom, in my mind, should I eat or should I not eat? I said, if you got to ask me a question like that, go eat. Please don't ask me this question no more. Right. If you got to ask it, it should be natural. Now, I got to dictate when you eat or don't eat. That's not natural. You don't need to beat up on yourself like that. That means this is still in you. Just go ahead and enjoy. Now, he smiled when I told him, like, yeah, just keep working on your practices. Don't even worry about that. When you're going to let up food. Just worry about health. Are you healthy? Are you having a good time? Let me tell you what health is. Health is being connected with your family and friends and y'all eating a good meal. That's prana. Everybody got along. Do that make sense? Whoa, people losing the whole thing. They're worried about a food part as a fad. But they got what? All types of family disconnections. Not realizing that that's the nourishment. That they need to get back together. Uh-oh. So it's these relationships, not only with nature, but the people around you.
Emotional nourishment or physical nourishment?
Both.
Both.
Remember we started out, they won. It's us who's splitting it up.
Yeah.
You're one.
I'm splitting again.
Yeah, but we've been trained that way through the language. What body is that? It's right there. Look, I just, where at? It's all here. That's why a person, like we say, got emotional problems, you see it on them. Because it is the physical body. Boy, you seem stressed.
We are also.
Enjoy y'all once again. All right.
We'll meet again.
All right. Go to Rabat. All right.
Eliton, a question.
Yes.
There are also people that say that they don't call themselves Breatharians, they call themselves sun gazers or something like this.
Right.
So they kind of get energy from the sun.
Solartarians.
Yeah, something like this.
Right.
Eventually, we are all living on prana. It's just kind of, they call themselves like this, those call themselves like this. So
Right.
you're not living like from the oxygen from the water breathe.
Right.
You're living from the inner energies and from the pranic energies.
Exactly. It's affecting everybody. You're living in it. It's going through you, around you. And that's the realization right there. That's the awakening. There's a book that they write, and I'm supposed to be in it, so I'm doing my part. And they asking everybody a list of questions. So the first two questions they asked me was, how was your sun gazing practice? And how has it affected your life? Now I have to look at that question. I don't sun gaze like that. First of all, I'm too lazy to go out there to,
4 o'clock in the morning.
right. I don't. Because I know I'm living in the sun. This is what I'm trying to tell you. This is so user-friendly and easy that the free energy is already here. Now, if you want to do that as a therapy, that's good if you need it as a therapy, just like any other therapy. All therapies have their good basis in it if you need it. Yes, you need to get more sun and stuff like that. There's truth in it. I'm not taking away from that. But to understand the awakening that you're already in nature, you're already in the energy matrix. Energy is already flowing through you. This is the point we're making. So I had to answer that question and change them. That's what I did. Well, the sun was not my therapy. I understand that I live in the sun and energy is all around me. An ocean full of it. Very, very powerful. Right here in this room right now. Your body is just a piece of equipment that science haven't figured out how to make yet that could do the same as the body. It pulls how much it needs. And you got access to the greatest science and technology right now. That's your physical body. Oh, did I say that? Absolutely. You know when somebody's calling you, you know this, you know to go to the right places. It surprises you at times. But this is what this is doing. This is the navigator through this realm. So the more you start opening it up and become one with everything, there's no tool that they made yet that can beat that. And it won't happen. How are they going to make an instrument that's going to hook up with the universal matrix in the middle? That camera can't do it. They made that camera based on how your eyes see. It's a model of you. That's how I see it. The car engine comes from your intestines. You put the fuel in here and the gas comes out here. Right. You're the center of the universe. That's how you're exploring it. And again, this is the house, this is the vehicle, and you are all you got. This is it. It's your turn. Your feet is on the ground. Get this information. And like I said, put it to use and have your own realization. Now, dealing with exercises again, I'm glad you brought that up. That's the first initiation. So he's asking more things. I like long distance biking, all of this. You got more energy now to do those sports and things you want to do. But like I said in the beginning, just take it easy. You understand? Like, of course, if you fasting is different than living on prana. Fasting is temporary. And all it's for is to what? Purge the physical body to a certain degree, which will help the mind and everything else, we know that. But it's temporary. Living on prana is different because it leaves food alone, but it has enough energy to sustain it over a longer period of time or indefinitely. Due to meditation. Just like physical weights, you got to understand this. The more you go to the gym and work out. Now, if you just work out one time a week at the gym on some weights, don't expect to go into no bodybuilding competition. Right. That's what you put in, that's what you're getting out. But if you start going 4 or 5 times a week, a nice serious workout and stuff like this, now you're talking. You're going to see a different result over a period of time. This is how it works. So it's the same with meditation. You're going to see a different result take place than somebody who's just going sporadically like that. The more you put in something, the more you're going to get out. So when you start building this light body, your body knows every time, oh, we're here again. It start holding it. It start holding it. First it goes into the blood flow. Then it goes into the muscle. Next it goes into the bone. Once it goes into the bone, it don't leave. That's where it gets good.
The energy?
The energy. Absolutely. It goes into the bone. That's why when they find a bone and they do a carbon dating on it, this bone was like 2 million years old. What did they do? They measured the radiation off of it. We are always getting radiated. Every year you get more and more radiated just by living in this realm. So you're actually getting energetically stronger. Again, we was taught the more you age, the weaker you become. With energy. That's not true. You should increase. That's why this path is so good. Don't look for no instant gratification. You can look at it by 5 years from now, I'm going to be so energetically strong just by living in this matrix. All you got to do is show up. Show up in the right location and let the energies flow through you. This is user-friendly and easy when you understand the concept. Any questions?
How long you meditate a day?
Oh, right now, let's go back.
You?
Right. I'm a walking meditation. There's no set hours.
Just meditate all the time.
Oh, absolutely. See, in the beginning, you get your meditation
No,
time.
not when you are driving.
Oh, I don't even drive. I got rid of that so I can keep meditating.
Okay.
But you can actually drive and meditate.
Right.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. I used to drive a lot. And
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Get in your position and be...
Yeah, be present
Yeah, yeah.
and just
be
feel
present.
the connection.
Once you need it in case of an emergency, then boom, you're right there.
Right.
But otherwise, sometimes I was driving like for 2 hours from Tel Aviv to up north, and I didn't know how I got there. I got home
Right.
eventually.
Ah,
The minute something extra happened, something extreme,
Yeah.
then I would be right there. So it was kind of a meditative state.
Oh,
While
absolutely.
driving, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that's one key thing about it. I like what you said. When you start learning how to relax your body and put your body in certain structures where the energy start flowing, that's when it becomes good. Back when I did drive, just by putting my hands, I could feel the energy running. Going these qigongs. Oh, absolutely. And then when I do the public transportation, you're on a bus, you're on a train. All you got to do is relax, energy flowing. So that's when you start going at instead of the set time that you need when you first start. When I first started, I ran into this meditation called the microcosmic orbit. In the morning, from 8 to 9, I'm doing it. 8 to 9 at night. So such and such, I'm doing it. Done. Now I wouldn't even think about that. Put myself through it because I don't need to.
But I think he meant for a starter, for people like us.
Oh, now that's what you said. He said for me. Now you said.
Now I'm switching the question to us.
Oh, for a starter, at least a minimum of 20 minutes a day.
Ah,
That's all you need.
that's not
Why 20 minutes? Because it usually takes 7 minutes for your blood to actually rotate all around your body and go back to the heart. That'll give it at least 3 rotations of you actually cooling down the body and the mind. That's like a standard. And every day is different. Don't put yourself under a regimen of the time have to be this.
Yeah, I like that. Not it puts pressure.
Yeah, we want to relieve stress and not put stress. Because if you put too much stress on yourself, you're not going to stick with the process. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Why should you? Get something you enjoy, something that's good. One day it might be 10 minutes. That's it. But then there'll be those days naturally, man, this feels good being here. Man, I was here for 40 minutes. Right. Let everything be natural and have fun on your journey. Don't beat up on yourself. Don't question yourself about eating this and eating that. And start healing yourself as you go along the process. The more and more you see yourself making improvements, getting healthier, that's the indication you got more prana. That's it. And you can keep going on and on and on. Because you'd be surprised how the saying goes, a day takes a long time, but 10 years takes quick. Then you come from the land it used to be. 10 years ago I should have started. I could be doing this. Right. Just start now and take your time. And when 10 years come about, man, I'm glad I started this 10 years ago. There was so much stuff that took place. Right. That's what you want to take place. So this is good information. Any more questions? Going once?
I have one. How does it feel for you now when you are connected to the prana and you're living from prana? When you taste, for example, as you said, the sushi, and you taste something, and you enjoy the taste and everything, the experience.
Right.
How it affects your physical, energetic, or your whole body. As you said, you're all the week you try different sushis and eat it, so it blocks a bit your energy and you need to clean it, or you just go on it.
Check this out. We got kind of, well, we all can feel it. There's a heat source within us. And it's usually coming from the first chakra. When you're on this path of your prana, more of that heat is automatically coming upwards. So anything you eat after that for enjoyment, it burns up real quick. It's in the fire. So you're going to get rid of it quicker than when you normally did. So it's not going to be a big effect back when you was eating. So that's why they play that game. You can pick something up when you want to, enjoy it when you want to. It ain't like it's going to kill you and you're going to be sick. This heat right here does a whole lot. The intestines is not going to quit working because you're absorbing toxicity all the time if you realize it or not. Your body's still going to be maintaining that, regulating that. Give you an example. Me and a friend of mine was swimming in a Mediterranean Sea every morning back when I was here in July, not now. But about the third morning, I felt that I had to urinate, and I didn't even drink nothing. But that's my skin absorbing in stuff and then wanted to get rid of it. So your system is still up in par. It's so up in par, it will work like you never felt it work before. See, right now it's being overworked. That's why people need to start fasting. You have to tell them, well, should I fast once a week? Well, it's like if you got a factory and it's running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You at least want to do some maintenance on the equipment and shut it down do some maintenance on it, and then start.
Half a day already.
Right. So that's the basics. You know what I mean? So,
Say it goes like this. It's not bothering.
right. Absolutely.
I have a personal question. Would it work? I'm 63,
Right.
and my body's kind of beat up from cancer treatments and everything. I got all kinds of things removed, organs removed from my body.
Right.
So, can I do this and to go all the way up to the extreme? And, is it not too late for me?
Oh, absolutely not. See, this is what happens. There was a book called The 5 Tibetan Rites.
Yeah.
Maybe y'all read that before. And it was dealing with 5 different exercises that were made to be done simply and to build up the energy centers in the body. He purposely got people that were older instead of younger. Now he did that for a reason. For number one, an older person, if you get them in that cycle, they'll see the improvements real fast because your body been through a lot more. You've seen it make its life changes. A young person didn't see their body make those life changes, and they didn't put that much stress on it yet, so they're stressing it out doing other things now. They don't see it. A young person can eat a whole cake and they still wake up to 10 waist. What? What y'all talking about? An older person say, I can't eat that like I used to. Right.
Yeah.
So you see those life changes take place. Number two, it's good to be older in those age groups because there's certain desires or experiences you're over with now.
Yeah.
The young person still want to explore that. So there's no reason for him to be all the way food free. Like my son, for instance, already know how to put down food and lay it down. He's 20 years old. But do you expect him to live every day like that? Absolutely not. He's with his friends, he's doing this, but he knows to keep the health message. That's why the message benefits young people. So you can end up differently than a generation before you. Oh, we got it. So that's a whole other message. We wasn't taught that back then. But now, this older person, there's certain, you already been through, the marriages, to this, to that, the chasing certain desires. So you got more time to say, let me take a time out and concentrate on this now. So this is a real good time in life to be in, to see this energy work for you. Because it's still dealing with energy flow. Your feet is on the ground, start making these changes, and watch the body start changing and working its magic. And again, by you being older, even if you didn't know nothing about energy work, remember I said just by you living, you're getting an influx of radiation every year, like 36 x-rays a year. You got a high energy right now if you realize it or not. So it ain't about you gaining more energy. You really don't gain more energy. You are unleashing or harmonizing the energy you already have. That's why it feels like you got more energy. Absolutely. So this is a good time. Use what you got. This is after having chi. You're working with what you got. So any more questions? We're going to do a good meditation to come here shortly. So any more questions? Well, right now y'all can take a 10-minute break? Take a good 10.
Thank you.
And we're doing it.
Wow. הוא אומר דברים נורא הגיוניים. הוא אומר דברים הגיוניים. למרות שזה נשמע אבסורד. חיים שממש... אני ראיתי סרט גם של BBC, סרט שכתב שהחליט לצום פעם בשבוע, יום בשבוע, ועשו לו כל הזמן תחת בדיקות של רופאים והכל, מדדים השתפרו בצורה
So you
מטורפת,
said you
מטורפת
get 18
ניצור
kilos
של יום בשבוע. אז פה אפשר לעשות גם יומיים בשבוע, או נגיד שבוע בחודש. צום. וזה פשוט, באמת, כשתראי את הסרט הזה, פלאים קוראים אולי להם. אני צמתי פה את השנים. כן, אז זה היה בסדר גמור.
That's what it's at. But right now,
זה לא רק משהו ברור, אני חושבת שזה הרגשות לי אצלי. העניינים הרגשיים מאוד, וזה הקופים המקפצים שלנו. אבל העניינים הרגשיים מאוד זה אני אוכל, כדי, כל החיים שלי עשיתי את זה, כדי להרדים את עצמי קצת, כדי לא להרגיש, כקבוצה זה סוג של בטח, אז אני אוכלת סוכרים, אני אוכלת זה, זה בטח.
oh yeah, keep that flow. And I guess the next one is the meditation.
תינוק בחיים,
That would be a good exploration, something good for you to explore and have fun, just like shopping.
למה, מה קורה? תמיד יש מין הרגשה כזאת שאוכל זה מנחם, מגיע.
Well, that'll be beaten up by
אז אנחנו גדלים
See, what we're
ככה.
saying
זה לא רק אנחנו, זה מדורי
the
דורות.
reason why you're doing it, you love
את
it.
האיש שלנו,
Or
יש
you're
לנו
comfortable
כל
with it.
המידע
Something's
הזה.
happening where it's
זה רק ההיסטוריה, זה גם מה
But with meditation,
שמכניסים אותנו
it'll
בכל
bring
המדיה.
you closer to
אז
the
אני
source
למשל לא חיה.
of what your answer is. It's
לא
really
רע,
something
אבל
else that you're dealing with emotionally. That's why that food habit is
זה לא המדיה, זה משהו שהוא בלתי בתפיסה שלי. אני דור ראשון לניצולי שואה.
Okay,
אתה יודע מה
that's
זה
the answer.
בשבילי
You
אוכל?
know what it is.
יש לזה אישו אחר.
כן, בטח.
בגלל שאני גדלתי בבית כזה. לא בגלל, אני לא חוויתי שואה.
אבל את יודעת מה, זה לא רק השואה, אני למשל שאני בת להורים צברים, חוויתי שואה פרטית קטנה כילדה. מוות של בגיל 5.5 וזה, חיים מאוד כאוטיים. זאת אומרת, זו השואה הקטנה שלי, ולמה אני פוניתי? מאוד... עכשיו, להבין את זה דבר אחד, להתמודד עם זה דבר אחר.
That's why I thought on meditation, I'm going to say, what is it? Now, this would be a good exploration to figure out which one is good.
שמודים, אין להם סיפור כרגע.
Yeah,
זה
look on there.
מודים,
Just look at all the meditations.
וזה עוברים תהליכים מדהימים, גם פיזיים, רוחניים ונפשיים בהתלקות. זה התנזרות. צריך לשאול את זה, אבל כבר היה פה, זה כל השיח. הוא אומר שאפשר פעם עם בעלה.
זה מי שבאמת אומר תתמודדו.
בדיוק, אבל מה אומר המחור? הוא לא יכול, פעם אחת יותר מדי.
העניין לא זה לעבור שלב, זה לעבור את השלב שלו, להגיע לרמה רגשית ומנטלית, וזהו, מדבר על הרמון. ברגע שאתה מחור אתה עוד משועבד באיזשהו
שנים רבות, כל דבר והם לא יכולים
זה תחת ה-12 סטפ בטח של הזה, שאת אומרת, אני תמיד אני אהיה עבד של הדבר הזה, אני צריך לשמור. זה גישה אחת
I have a question. And thank you first of all.
Oh, thank you.
Really, I like it very much. It
Very
sounds,
enlightening.
and yes, and it sounds so
Practical.
yeah, practical. Exactly. But I have a question. I'm a psychotherapist and I'm taking care of addiction. People that they are addicted to food.
Right.
So I know that when they are getting clean from food, I mean, not totally like we do, but in other way, they're clean from sugar, from other stuff.
Right.
For them, there is no another time. I mean, if they would touch the sugar another one time, 1,000 times will never be
Yeah.
after they get clean.
Yeah.
So how it works with prana works? I mean, if they would prana works and they will stop eating. And one time they would like to have this lemonade With full
Oh, but
sugar.
see,
What
all right,
we
you're
have
still
to give
looking at
them?
it on a physical or molecular structure, I mean, a physical level. That's
It's not
good.
only physical.
But there's a lot more going on.
Of course.
When I talked about this energy flow that we're dealing with, because that's what we're dealing with, the energy flow. It's sort of like a river going and it's flowing, and that river get blockages in it, like rocks, trees.
Yes.
You're pulling at it so you can get a bigger energy flow. And then what happens when a person is on prana, they extended their energy flow where the river is a lot wider. So that's going. So with something, this is what people don't understand. Okay, this river is open at its max. Ta-da. So one day something get thrown in it that seems like toxic.
Yeah.
It gets wiped up in the river and there's no challenge. It gets cleansed. The other person, when the river was real small, all that, okay, it takes a lot longer for it to clear the tree branch that fell into. It takes a lot longer, it's working a lot harder. So that's why I said meditation must be the foundation of the pranic journey. You're working on your energy body that many people haven't been talking about. But let's manifest it now. Your neural system. There's a wiring system that works with electricity. And that's what you're looking at. With that, when we was doing that, that's electricity. We ain't been looking at it like that. What is that? It's electromagnetic field. Look at that word, electric. Electricity. That's what we're working with. Same thing, electrical beams. So when you're meditating, you're making those energy channels, those electrical channels, stronger to hold a bigger voltage. So when toxicity comes into the system, it ain't got nothing happening like a regular person. They're the ones having all of that. Right? That's why this is so powerful. Oh, man. Oh, sure.
Yeah, my kids.
All right.
אני אצלם אותך, תביאי. And can I ask you another question?
Yes.
Personal question?
Yes.
You don't really need to answer if you don't know. How old are you?
Oh, 50.
That's what I thought. Here.
You look younger. Ta-da.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Why are you wearing red?
Oh, well, I was trying to find a favorite color, so now red came into the scene and black. So I usually wear red, black, and a couple blue. I'm narrowing down my wardrobe. I'm carrying all my belongings on my back. So one thing about living on prana, you start, this comes naturally. Certain materialistic things you don't care about no more. Those desires start leaving.
Yeah.
So all my stuff started going.
I found out that as the years go by, I narrowed down my color palette.
Yeah.
Clothes. I used to be very colorful
Right.
10 years ago even. And now it's only grays and blacks.
Right, you found your color.
Yeah, I toned it down a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering, I mean,
Right.
yeah.
And my red hit me, so I
There is
said,
a movie, Lady in Red, and you're a man in red.
the man in red.
It suits you.
I gotta make a new song.
Hey, look at
Oh, this is wonderful. Now let me see. Oh yeah, we'll do a standing up qigong. That'll be good.
Qigong, it's part of the energy to make the energy flow.
Yeah, that's usually a good exercise to get people to really feel the energy that we're talking about. Real quick, it's all around.
Can we have a session of Qigong through the energy?
Yeah, we're about to do one now.
Good. I like it.
Absolutely. Oh, let me
שיניים,
do
אם
this.
זה היה נכון, למה צריך להיות?
So what time is it now about?
למה יש פה? אם למה נולדנו? מבינה כאילו את
Oh,
השאלות
cool.
האלה.
Good time.
הפיזיולוגיה לא...
What time are we?
Anytime you continue for your procedure.
Huh? Actually, I was going to stay here for the night.
I say
Yes. I'm supposed to go to, I'll be here soon. I'm supposed to go to Tiberias after this. Yeah. So I'll be up there, but I'm going to stay in Nazareth. I was going to go tonight, but I'm going to stay here in Nazareth.
זה מדהים, זה נתפס לי, אבל זה, אתה יודע, זה לא קשה, זה מאתגר. זה מאתגר, זה מאתגר, אבל בסוף לאן הוא הגיע, אני לא יודעת.
מי זה לא נתפס?
לא נתפס,
Oh, gal?
שאמרתי לו חודש הוא צחק, הוא אומר לי על מה אתה מדבר? לא להכניס לצדדים להבין.
It's also amazing how it releases
הצלם?
Yeah.
לא, הוא צוחק, זה מסדלה שלו. זה הסדלה שלו, הוא לא צוחק ממך.
זה סטלה חופשי.
כן, הוא צוחק חופשי, הוא...
אני מקבל על זה כל
Yeah.
120 meters
Mhm.
on Islam.
Right.
אני לא ידעתי למה אני לא
Also, it
בת
was
אחת אמרתי על
Right.
and my goal was to be able to dive
Oh, man.
there and to deal with kind of
Right. Different types of therapies.
yeah, so it released lots of fear with me with diving.
Oh, absolutely.
And lots of how to build trust with the water.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about the mix of
איפה מספר הטלפון?
Yeah, even that deep diving helps. Hold the breath.
Why not stomach?
Oh, when you're a high. Oh.
From the beginning we are not supposed to eat.
אולי עד גיל, if you need it till 25, maybe for that.
I don't know.
Right. And then again, I didn't
Why
say.
animal?
I didn't say in the beginning. That's all coming out of him. You're a hybrid. Just like how we got cars
תן לו
around
הסבר
for
מאוד
fossil
יפה
fuels.
לזה.
You can take your car right now
אמר
and go off of
כשבונים
gas.
את כל התהליך
If you wanted to hook up
אז
a
זה
solar
כמו
panel on top of it, you can use that also.
נחל,
All you're doing
פלג
is
שהיה
upgrading
צר
your vehicle.
והפך להיות
So
נחל.
if you ever run out of gas, you
ואז
can
כשהוא
switch it
נחל
to the
רחב,
solar
אז
panel.
גם אם מפעילים שם עצים
All you
וזה,
do is just switch it to the
המים יודעים לשאת את זה, זה נשאר צר.
You don't
אז
need
כמובן
that.
שהיה נופל איזה עץ, היה תוקע שם, כאילו השימוש בסוכר או כל דבר אחר. זאת אומרת שהתהליך הזה בונה יכולות
All animals are
לא
different.
צריך את זה יותר. פיזיקה.
זה כמו
You're the, and I don't want to say you're the top animal. What you're doing is making the transformation from an earth animal, who's getting all your systems destroyed here. You're still an animal, but you're you have the ability. What makes us different than other animals is you can make a plan. You can make a plan. It's the consciousness.
נרדמת קצת.
You can run a marathon if you want to. You can start doing a marathon. That's not far-fetched. You can start being a bodybuilder.
הבן
That's
אדם
not
צריך
far-fetched.
שינה.
Somebody can give you a plan, and if you really wanted to, you can figure it out. An animal, you can't tell that to. You can't teach a gorilla calculus. They have different consciousness on how you're acting out. You're sharing the same consciousness, but due to the form you're in, that's just where you're at. It's up to you if you want to use it or use it differently.
איך קוראים לה?
See, right now,
לידיה? נעים מאוד.
if you got this consciousness, you could go somewhere else. Why you keep using it?
הבעיה שלך זה לא השוקולד.
You have sex.
הבעיה שלך זה הסיפור שיש לך עם השוקולד. שוקולד בעצמו הוא בכלל לא בעיה. אבל שיש לך מסביב לזה.
Don't let that blow your mind. Go on the health plan.
לא קורא לזה בשם, לא חשוב.
That's why it's called self-love.
זה התוצאה.
All you want to do is make sure you know what it is until you start working with yourself. If you start doing these principles, like I just said, then you'll start seeing. There was one guy who came on a retreat. and I showed him a
מתי הם עובדים? משחררים את הגוף.
He told me very
זה
much.
מוזיקה ערבית קצת. רמי.
But you work with it. So I'm not giving you the tools. The tools ain't for that. I'm just telling you simple stuff. It's just that you never look at it. You try to do it together. You're not living like this all the time. But then, let's look at water. There'll be a time they told us, I know in America, you need to drink 8 glasses of water a day.
לידיה.
I was peeing all the time. I couldn't find out. Somebody just made that up. Somebody just made it up. Put it in the medical profession. Yeah. And then I seen a film one time when they was going across the sea and the locals were there for a day. And everybody else from America. You see what I'm saying?
עולה בת 39, 36, גלגליים, רופאת שיניים. הכל אצלה כזה, לא מאמינה בשטויות שלי.
This time we're going to do
צ'יקונג.
a qigong.
Yes.
This time we're going to do a standing up qigong.
Good. I like it. Let's start. Move a bit.
Standing?
Standing. Moving.
Right. Put all of this to flowing.
פתרתי לך בשתי
All right. Now, when we're talking about this energy flow, one thing we kept saying, the more relaxed the body, the easier the energy flows. Now, your body is always working with energy. Everybody is. Every time you yawn, pass gas. That's the body saying it needed to release something. It didn't even ask our permission. And then sometimes when you stand in a certain position and you don't know why, you moved in that position because the body felt that that was the most pleasurable position to be in. For instance, why did you choose that position? You don't know, but that was the most comfortable position. The
Right
body,
now.
Right now. And then the next movement is going to be based on that. We move out of pleasure. So right now we're going to get this energy flowing through the body. And your spinal cord is the center of your being. So we're going to do stretches starting from the head all the way down to the feet. And then we're going to go into these positions of energy flow. So number one, we're going to work on our necks. We're going to loosen up the tension in the neck. So slowly we're going to go to the right, making circles. Go at your own pace. Nice and slow. Just loosen up all that tension. All right, that's good. Now let's reverse the other direction. Now there's a lot of stress that goes into the neck when we sleep or throughout the day. Right now you're just relieving some of that stress. And that's good. Now the next area that holds a lot of stress is the shoulders. So now we're going to make nice circle shrugs, going to the nice circles going to the front. Nice and relaxed. And loosen up all that stress. Loosen up that tension. Now let's go backwards, reverse. Nice and relaxed. And that's good. Now, let me back up a little. Put your hands on your hips. Now we're going to go to the right with nice circles with the hips. This is another area where a lot of energy tension takes place. In yoga and Tai Chi, they both concentrate on loosening up these areas because energy loves to flow upwards. This is where the sexual energy is at, the Kundalini, and we want it to rise. Now let's reverse the other direction. And that's good. Feel totally different. Now put the feet together, knees slightly bent, rub your hands together, hands on your knees, and now do circles to the right, Your knees and your ankles both get a lot of energy blockages. We want that energy to flow upwards from the earth all the way up the body. Now the other direction, reverse. The whole body into it. And that's good. Now this is my favorite. One hand out to the front, the other to the back. And now we're going swimming in the ocean of energy. Nice good turns. Make sure the body stretches. The organs. Nice good strokes. Your hips is into it, the whole body's into the stroke. Nice and relaxed. Now let's do a backstroke. Swimming in the ocean of energy. This is where the organs can breathe. And that's good. Feel totally different, huh?
You feel alive.
Now we're going to put our hands up under our belly button. The men, right hand over the left. Women, left hand over the right. Just feel how your body feels. Just relax. Now take your hands and go clockwise on your intestines. Nice and slowly. And move the energy with your intent. Inside your intestines. There's a lot of energy in this area. Move the energy with your mind. Now let's reverse other direction. Alright, that's good. Back to the center. Feel how the body feels. Now this next one, I think one person needs to move back, you move forward. You move back, you move forward, so we have enough room. Because what we're going to do, we're going to do circles like this. So kind of give yourself enough room. All right, so keep your hands up on your belly button first. Now use your intent and slowly move the energy up your spine. Move the energy up to the face, to the top of the head. Go nice and slow, make a nice circle. Grab all that energy around. Go at your own pace. Bring it up the spine. Use your intent. Nice, good circles. At your own pace, feel that energy flow. Just move it up the body. Mind-body connection. Wherever your mind goes, the energy goes. Bring it up the spine. nice and relaxed. And that's good. We'll go back to the belly button. Just relax and feel your body. Now rub your hands together, collect all that energy. And with your intent, put energy on your kidneys using your mind. Your hands have a lot of healing power. With your mind, put energy into your kidneys. Rub your hands together again, collect all the energy. It's time for energy at your heart chakra. Alright, that's good. Now put your hands down at your side. Like a rag doll, just go back and forth and let your arms slap on your body. Just loosen up the toxicity. Get it ready for some energy flow. Alright, that's good. Now it's time for some Qigong. Now in this one, now we can get back in our circle, a comfortable position, wherever you're comfortable. We're going to make sure our feet is at least a little past the shoulders, and we're going to bend our knees slightly, where you're nice and comfortable. The more you go down, the more resistance it'll give you, but it's like you're sitting on something. And then we're going to have our hands like in the first position, like you're making a ball, nice and relaxed. Second position is going to be like you're holding a ball up near the shoulders. Third position is going to be prayer hands. Fourth position is going to be all the way up, standing like a tree. The fifth position is going to be hands down, palms down to the ground. So y'all ready? And the main goal behind this is allowing the energy to work for you. And if you feel uncomfortable in a position, you can bring the hands down, and I'll guide you through it.
מתרגלים לי על הנוחה.
גם,
אני שחם מתפשט לאט לאט.
Y'all want any music? Yeah, a little music. Yeah. Musical?
Some music.
Yeah.
DJ, put us some good music. Yeah.
We got to keep it live up.
Yes.
Because energy might take us, and then we'll be...
יש סיבולים כדי-ג'יי בוודאות.
אני אומרת מאחורי
We'll
כל
do
מאמן
the
טוב,
energetic music afterwards.
נכון.
בחיי, בדוק.
נכון.
Mhm.
רap.
Right. Da, 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 da. That's prana. Da, 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 da.
יותר טוב כמאמן.
All right. Beautiful. All right, let's get to our first position. Nice and comfortable. And Just relax. Relax the shoulders. Relax the hips. Allow yourself to relax into the energy. Any sensations, any movement is okay. That's the energy trying to work itself through the body. The more relaxed the body, the easier the energy flows. Now we're going to go to position number 2, up near the shoulders. Just relax. Relax the hands. Relax the shoulders. Relax the abdomen. Relax the whole body. All energy runs a circuit. One more minute in this position. Just relax. Allow the energy to flow. Prayer position from your heart chakra, position number 3. Relax the shoulders. Relax your hips. Relax the whole body. Relax the muscles in the face. All energy runs a circuit. This cosmic energy is raining on us, both day and night. Fourth position, hands all the way up. Just relax into the energy. Relax the hands. Relax the shoulders. Relax the chest. Relax the abdomen. Relax the hips. Feel the energy in the legs. Allow your feet to soak into the earth. All this energy. One more minute in this position. position, prayer position. Rest into the energy. Relax your shoulders. Relax your hips. Relax your legs. Feel the energy flow. The more you relax the body, the easier the energy flows. Fifth position, hand down at your side with the palms to the earth, and allow the energy to work for you. Relax the hands. Relax the shoulders. Relax the legs. You can keep your eyes open or closed, it doesn't matter. Just relax. All this abundant energy all around us. Body, the easier the energy flows. Just let go and just relax into the energy. Allow the energy to work for you. Prayer position all the way up. Just relax into it. Just let go and allow the energy to move. All energy wants to serve you. One minute in this position. Relax the shoulders. Relax the hips. Back to prayer position. Just relax and rest into the energy. Relax the shoulders. Relax the abdomen. Allow the energy to flow. position one more time, all the way up. This time make the hands just a little wider. You're like a solar panel, grabbing in all the solar energy. Just relax. Allow the energy to rain on top of you. Abundant cosmic energy. The body knows what to do. One more minute. If your arms get tired, you can bring it down a little. And just relax and allow the energy to work for you. Go back to position number one. Make a nice ball in front of you. Make it nice and strong. Feel that energy. And move it to the right and to the left, nice and slow. Go at your own pace. Feel that energy. There you go. Just take it how you feel. All around us. Just everywhere the body goes. Now, you just move your whole body with the energy. From any way you want to go. Remember how you felt how to move. Feel that energy. There's no right way or wrong way. Nice and easy. Feel that energy flow all through the body, even in your feet when you step. All that earth energy is coming up through the earth, through the body. Nice and slow moving. Nice and relaxed. Allow the stress to go. Just let it flow nice and easy. This energy is everywhere, all around us, coming through the body. Move any way you felt to move. The whole body dynamics. The body is all one. With your legs, your hips, your arms. Wherever the body moves, the energy moves. shadows around us. The more you work with the light, the stronger your body becomes. You can put the hands separate, it doesn't matter. You still move with the body. Feel the energy flow all through the body, all through the meridians, all through the channels. Connect with the prana. Every step, every move, you're connected with the heavens and the earth. Body knows where to go. Just come in tune with your body. Just let the mind free. Wonderful energy. This energy is everywhere. Everywhere we go in life. Both day and night. We're living in the matrix of the sun, the moon, the earth, the stars, all other beings. Body's getting good and nourished. It's getting its healing. Just do nice, easy movements. Feel that flow. Nice, good flow. Nice and relaxed. Whether it be moving or standing still, everything in life should be relaxed. Less stress, more energy. Now we're going to go. There's a position on the side, just nice and slow. Let's make our circle. Any position to do. Playing with the energy. Now we're going to make a nice ball in the middle. It's way stronger than before. You've been working with this energy all day. Humongous. This is what it's all about. Yeah. We're energy beings. So the more we work with the flow like this, the stronger it becomes. Not only in the external, but also in our bodies. So now I'm going to put a word in, and then we'll go to my right. Love.
Peace.
Blessed.
אין סוף.
Yeah.
Joy.
Magic.
All right. Anybody else? Throw some more in if you want. It's a big ball, a nice strong one.
Peace of mind.
Well-being.
Awesomeness.
Love. Courage. Hope.
Balance.
All right.
Balance.
Now put your family, friends, and loved ones inside the ball. All sentient beings. All the people of the earth.
Peace.
Harmony.
Energy.
Laughter.
צליל. שמחה.
And on the count of 3, we're going to lift it up to the universe. 1, 2, 3. Up, up and away. Here we go. Coming from Nazareth. This is our job as being light workers. This is what we call living on prana. We're all taking part in it. There is no big eyes and little U's in oneness. So all that energy we collected, you can rub your hands together. Give yourself a nice energy shower. Feel for your skin.
It's good.
Oh, this is awesome. And just something this simple. Notice that, now that's a meditation. You didn't have to do much, just stand there. The body will automatically start charging up the energy. Just in the atmosphere, that's what it does. And if you could do this as a routine every day, you will see results. 3 days go past. 7 days go past. 2 weeks, you're a whole other person. You can make the bulls out of nowhere. They be like, what? And then if you're in the healing, you become a better healer. Energy's always high. So I'm telling you, put this stuff to the test, and then you can see living on prana. This is living on prana. Don't even focus on the food freedom part. That comes down the road as you're having fun experimenting, playing, having fun. That's what it's all about. And then one day you can consider, I think I'm ready to let this go now. Let me go on over here. Right. That's how it should be.
Meditation like this, I can do every day differently, but I never succeeded in it. I failed meditation all my life.
Right.
Sit down and not to move and quiet the monkey brain with any It's mission impossible.
Right. With stuff like this?
With this, I was very completely meditating, and
that's
first
it.
time in my life I managed to meditate. By the way, I never.
Now that's a good sign. And see, and then down the line, when those other meditations you used to hate, then when you go into it, the energy will be flowing. It'll be easy. But this is where it begins. And this will get you on that path of really enjoying meditation. Meditation is medication. So I enjoyed that.
Thank you very
All
much.
right. Now we can do some fast music.
And you have all night for that, right?
Yeah, all day. Right. They'd be like, what should I do with myself then? Oh, so what do you want to do now? Another?
Some music for dance.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's another form of prayer.
Önce güneş vuruldu ve Konstantiniye'de ortalık kapkaranlık oldu. Güpegündüz gökte yıldızlar parlıyordu. Aniden bir kuyruklu yıldız bütün ihtişamıyla Konstantiniye'yi ışıklandırdı. Öyle bir ışık ki gözler görmez. O sıralarda Sultan Murat 27 yaşında genç ve yetenekli. Sabahın ilk ışıklarıyla ona müjdeyi verdiler. Gözleri senin şaşırdı. Ve tarih sultanlar aşkına yeni şehzadesini bağrına bastı.